Why, hello there. Welcome to a stream. Welcome to a stream. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Let me get stuff going here. Hello, nurse. Hello, nurse. Who's the nurse? Who is that? All right. But yeah, welcome to Adzilla. Good to see you. Good to see you. Um, getting ingredients. Getting ingredients you're my Animaniacs on? Oh god, Animaniacs is such a throwback. Holy crap. You love to see it. You love to see it. Look, I'm setting stuff up, and guess what? Restream sucks yet again. Literally does not set up my lobby properly. I swear. Remember when things work? Y'all remember when things used to work? Apparently they don't do that anymore. Apparently things don't work anymore. Okay, I turned on ads, got everything pulled up here. Let me Ren and Stimpy is your fave though. Ren and Stimpy is also a throwback. Ren and Stimpy was like pretty disturbing. I did enjoy it as well. But I have some like nightmare um I have some like memories of watching Ren and Stimpy because I was really little, right? Like I was really young when I was watching that stuff. And some of the scenes are like really weird and disturbing. And I'm not gonna lie, like some of them are like burned into my amygdala. Like that one scene where God, I don't even remember what's happening. There's like a button they're not supposed to press. They're on a spaceship. There's like a button they're not supposed to press. And one of them starts eating like soap and then starts like ripping out his teeth and all this like really weird stuff. Like super weird. And like that is like burned into my amygdala. Genuinely. Genuinely. Um yeah, welcome everybody. Did I ping the Discord? Did I just imagine that I did that? I did it. I did it. Okay, here we are. Oh, all right. Fulfilling my promises for those of you who do not know. I am now streaming 4 days a week. You love to see it. For those of you who really enjoy my streams, I hope to see you all here frequently to hang out and enjoy the stream because I'll be here. I'll be here. It's exciting. As we get going here, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be super great. Yeah, just like, I need to be making more money, which is part of the reason, but also like, gotta grow the channel, gotta grow the stuff and things and everything. And part of that is making sure that I'm here and consistently. And yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot of other streamers tend to stream 4 or 5 days a week, like really consistently. And like they're I was only doing 3 days a week, so I figured it couldn't hurt to like boost up how much I'm here. Um yeah. Oh, interesting. We'll talk about news in a second. I did just see an article saying Sanders doesn't believe he will endorse Hong. For those who don't know, Francesca Hong is a member of the DSA and is running in Wisconsin, um, gubernatorial race. Interesting. So, oh, okay, I see why. I see why. I'm reading. Brian, hello. Turtlebird, hello. Hello, Leah. Always love when I get to see you're safe. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Senator Bernie Sanders says he does not plan to endorse Hong in the Wisconsin gubernatorial race, citing unfamiliarity with the race and general lack of involvement in many governor races. So, it Sanders' decision not to endorse has sparked criticism, with commentators noting his past endorsements of other controversial progressive candidates, questioning his doubts about her electability. Um, I don't know. The reasoning that he seemed to have given was that he's not like super involved with governor races and isn't familiar with her. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on there. That could just be politicking. Like maybe he has a disagreement with her and he just was using that as a convenient excuse. But that is interesting. That is very interesting. Meta ordered to pay $567 million in New Mexico for a teen mental health fund. That's wild. That's a wild uh article there. So you're running away for 2 weeks vacation? Well, that's awesome. I hope you enjoy your vacation. That sounds pretty sick. You do love to see that. I need to start talking about this, but at the end of August, like basically right as September is rolling around, um, I will be gone for like I'll be gone for like kind of all of September. um, I so I've been for those of you who follow my channel, I do this stuff called flow arts. And during the summer, it's very busy. There's a lot of events. I'm traveling around, I'm teaching, I'm doing all sorts of stuff. And there are a lot of events that I have in the Northeast of America in September. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go out to September and basically live in the woods for 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I'm gonna go out there and basically camp for a few weeks just to, like, you know, like, if I had to, like, drive back and forth, obviously, it would be overwhelming because, like, it's like a 15-hour drive or what I don't even know how long it is, but it's a pretty long drive to get out there. And since I have like a few events out that way, September I will be gone basically. But what I'm hoping to do is like record some videos before I leave and then release those while I'm gone. So at least there's some videos coming out so that the algorithm doesn't like absolutely despise me when I come back, you know? Um but we'll see how that goes. I should be able to get at least a few things recorded, I would think, especially with me streaming more often. I would be willing to believe that it would be possible for me to get some of that stuff done. Thank you all for hitting the like button on the stream. Just a couple more housekeeping things here. Sorry about this. I've got my link tree pinned in both chats, Twitch and YouTube here. So if you're interested in following around on my social media accounts, it's all there. It's all there. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, if you like what I do, if you enjoy the streams, if you like the content, then feel free to hop over to my Patreon. Patreon is the way to support me, and yeah, I would super appreciate all of that very, very much. It would be really great to see. Really great to see. Happy Zephyr, hello. Leah, it's been a while since I tuned in. Well, hello. Good to see you. Welcome back. Happy to see people for sure. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everyone's doing all right. I did see an interesting story today. I love your bandana. My favorite color is sky blue. Nice. This it may look blue. It's actually not blue. This is like a lavender headband, but probably with like the lights that I have on it and the settings on my camera, it's it's like a lavender. It's a really light color. Um, but here, let me see if maybe my door is like a bit yellow, so it looks like the white balance. Oh my goodness. Um, oh okay. Yeah, auto white balance and periwinkle purple. Grace, hello, welcome. It's good to see you as well. Good to see you for sure. Yeah, I don't know. The white balancing isn't doing like a super great job, but yeah, it's the colors are a little messed up. Like Fred's back splotches look brown on the stream, but Fred is white and gray. That is I mean, I guess there's like a little bit of brown in it, but like I think it's because of the light is kind of yellow. So, um, only here for a little bit. Been wildly busy the last week with the last week before the primary. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. That sounds pretty like a lot. So I'm rooting for you. Hope it all goes well. I mean, regardless, you're already doing great stuff. So I super appreciate that. Super duper appreciate that. Oh Lord. So I'm seeing an article here. Senator Mitch McConnell released from rehabilitation center continues recovery at home. Interesting. Yay, Kobe. Yeah, good luck to Kobe. Uh, hope that she's able to pull enough of the vote for them to take her seriously and like, you know, have conversations with y'all about like what needs to be adjusted in the campaign and what kind of stuff would help with building coalition and stuff like that. So that would be cool. But Senator Mitch McConnell released from rehabilitation center continues recovering at home. That's interesting. Uh, I'm trying to see if there's anything actually new here. Governor Andy Bashir has publicly urged McConnell to confirm his fitness to serve or resign. Yeah, it's like it's really annoying because like a lot of BS he's dead. Like, yeah, I mean like he might as well be dead, right? Like, I mean, he's clearly not able to serve his position anymore. And that's what makes me so mad about this is that like if you work in America, you know how hard it is to get time off, right? Like like most of my adult life, I have worked in food service. And so if you work in food service, as many of you are probably aware, you don't get paid time off. Like that's like not a thing that you get. Like you get if you want to take time off, a lot of food jobs will let you take time off, but they're not going to give you paid time off. So like every time I want to take a vacation or have wanted to take a vacation, I have to like pay out, like I'm not getting paid while I'm gone, so I have to calculate for like a loss of income while I'm doing a vacation, which is like, you're not making money and you're spending money, which is like it's bad. It's like twice as bad. Um so that is definitely a thing. Well, I don't know why Fred's been spending so much time over there on the chair lately. When I stream lately, Fred's gone over there. What are you doing, buddy? You don't love me anymore? Okay. But yeah. So like, but Mitch McConnell has taken more time off than most people. Like most people in the United States, if they get paid time off, it's like 3-4 weeks a year, and he's been out for 2 months. He's had 8 weeks of vacation and plus more, right? Like he's gonna obviously continue, quote unquote, continue recovering at home or whatever. But yeah, like that's really dystopian. Like why does this elected official get to have so much time off, but like most Americans don't? It's really dumb and unfortunate. And yeah, like if he's not able to do his job, he should have to resign. Like he should have to resign if he's not fit to do his job. Like we keep seeing instances of this in American politics where like there will be politicians, like there was that one politician who was out of work for depression. Let me see if I can find an article on it. Politician returns from depression. Let's see if I can. Yeah, Tom Keene Jr. was treated for depression during absence from Congress. So he was absent from Congress for 4 months due to hospitalization for depression, which he disclosed in a House floor speech, as his medical diagnosis was not initially revealed. Um, he emphasized that depression is a serious illness without a clear recovery timeline, expressed gratitude for the medical help he received. It's just like so frustrating though. Like, dude, like, are you serious? Like, you get to be out of work for 4 months because you're just sad and stuff. Like, you have depression, and like, no one else is able to do that. Like, I know a lot of people in America who have depression who are forced to go to work every day. Like, I know a lot of people that do that. And it's a point of privilege for these freaking politicians where they're so stupid wealthy or whatever. they can just be like, I'll just take 4 months off, you know, and it's so dumb. This is why we need socialism for real. Yeah, no, I mean, like, everyone should have paid time off. Doesn't matter. Everyone should have, healthcare. Doesn't matter. Like, yeah. Joey, welcome to the stream there. Welcome to the stream. Happy to see you. I'm a people like that. No, for sure. Like I feel that. I feel that. It's not fair. Like if you like look, if you talk to like and this guy's a Republican, right? Like this guy Republican Tom Keene Jr. If you ask most Republicans if people deserve to like have time off to get treated for depression, most Republicans would be like, no. You're like, I didn't get to get time off when I was like, I don't know, or whatever. But like a lot of these people would just say, like, no, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get the fuck over it. But then you get this like this privileged politician who's just like, I'm depressed, and then gets 4 months off of work. Like, dude, that's so stupid. That's so stupid. Like, do I think this guy deserves health care for his depression? Do I think that people should be treated for their mental health and should be like should take that stuff seriously and do stuff about it? Yeah, for sure. Like for sure. But like it's so hypocritical for a Republican to take 4 months off for depression and be able to keep his job. You know what I mean? If you ask a Republican like, hey, if there's a food worker who takes 4 months off for depression, should they be able to keep their job? Most of them would say no. Are we talking about Schreckerman? No, but we can probably talk about him a bit on this stream because I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched like a portion of the Jon Stewart, John Fetterman interview because I was curious about how Stewart would approach it. Like I was really nervous that Jon Stewart was gonna like be conciliatory and all this other stuff, but I really do think he didn't do a perfect job, but I think he did an okay job of holding him to principles and like trying to exact answers out of him. And I mean like there are some quotes that came out from that Jon Stewart, John Fetterman interview that like we can definitely talk about that. I mean it's some of the stuff he said was really messed up. Um, when I went voluntary inpatient for depression, suicidal ideation, it always came back at the cost of me giving up my job. Yeah, exactly, Brian. And that's the thing that's really frustrating about it is that like you deserve to be able to like take time off to take care of yourself and like your medical bills should be covered. Like we should take care of the people that live and work in this country and you also deserve to be able to hold a job, like to be able to keep a job just because you have to like take care of some stuff for yourself doesn't mean that you deserve to be unemployed because it starts like this spiral for a lot of people where they have a mental health crisis, they lose their job, they don't have health care, and then they end up unable to afford life, unable to afford their living situation. They end up on a street somewhere and they're unhoused, and then they get treated like shit by the cops or get into drugs or just struggle in general, and there's no help for these people. Like these people are allowed to just crumble and be subject to like some of the most horrific conditions, and no one lifts a damn finger for them, and everyone blames them for it, like especially like Republicans. They're going to blame them for not being able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps or whatever the fuck. And I think that that's genuinely like really really dystopian, really shitty, really dumb. Uh, they believe more power equals more privilege when it should be equal for everybody. No, for sure, for sure. Like I think it's really shitty that that is kind of the state of the country where like if you have wealth, you can do whatever you want. Take as much time off as you want, go everywhere you want, all the best healthcare in the world. Like everyone who has money gets like all the benefits of this country, but the people who don't have money get absolutely like nothing. Get shit on. Healthcare should not be wealth dependent. We all deserve healthcare. Yeah, absolutely, 110%. And then like that's like a long overdue thing too. Like considering the state of media right now, it's good to see any of these ghouls held to account. No, I agree entirely. I was nervous when I saw that Jon Stewart had Fetterman on, but we'll talk about that more in a minute. I kind of want to finish this conversation about healthcare here. But I agree entirely. Everyone deserves healthcare. We are the richest country in the history of the world. Like, and there are countries that are way less wealthy than us that guarantee their residents healthcare. And are those systems perfect? No, but they are better than our system in the sense that, like, they pay less money for better outcomes than we do. Like, we pay, as a country, more money for not guaranteed healthcare than other people do. Like, you know, I mean, anyone who has had a serious medical condition, anyone who has had to have, like, cancer treatments or anything really serious, then you know what? Like, they they understand what we're talking about here, because when you get a bill for like $20,000 for like a month worth of medicine or something, it becomes painfully clear to you how broken the system is and how, like, this should not be the way that things are run. Like, like, you shouldn't be expected. Like, I mean, $20,000 when I worked in food service, I was making 30 something thousand dollars a year, like 32,000, $34,000 a year. That would literally, like, 1 month of, like, some of these medicines would, like, instantly wipe me out of my yearly income, and then I'm expected to pay rent and expected to pay whatever and feed myself and all this other stuff. And so anyone who has, like, dealt with the healthcare system like that, has an understanding of how, like, insane it is. And like, outside of not having insurance, like, there are a lot of people who have insurance who get denied for things that they should not be getting denied for. They deserve to have treatment, especially, like if you have insurance and then they refuse to cover your treatments. Like, my God, it's so shit, so shit. Um, my uncle-in-law just moved to a new job, medical insurance in limbo. Got fired today for missing a day because he has a serious medical issue going on right now. Has to pay for all of these tests out of pocket. Yeah, you see, that is actually, wow. Holy crap. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Your uncle got a new job, moved to go to that new job. Medical insurance was in limbo and missed a day because he had some serious medical issue. They instantly fire him and now he's not going to have health insurance. Like, in what world does it make sense? Like, in what world does this guy deserve that? Like, that is so messed up. And like a lot of, like, a lot of these people tend to act like Medicare for all or whatever would just be like bad for the economy or bad for the workers. But, like, actually it's the total opposite. If this, in this example, if Lauren's uncle was able to get health care and get treated for the medical issue that's going on, he could return to work and be more productive. There are a lot of people who are on disability who are unable to afford the medical care that they would need, that would to help them be able to be a productive working member of society. And so, like, a lot of these people act like, oh, if we gave, if we did all this stuff, everyone would just be on disability, everyone would just stop working, everyone would just be lazy. But that is so far from the truth. Like, people don't want to do that. Most people want to, like, contribute and want to have, like, some kind of job. Um, like, most people do, you know? And it's like, it's frustrating to me that a lot of the framing kind of makes it sound like a lot of these people are lazy. Like, I don't know, a lot of left wingers, like, that I know, work incredibly hard. They work very hard at their jobs. They work very hard at their life. They're often involved in activism and having to work, so they're like doing a lot. And I think it's really frustrating to act like these people are lazy or not productive or whatever. It's just fear mongering. Obama could have done it. Obama couldn't have done shit. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Obama kind of sucked, unfortunately. I wish he didn't. Like, when he ran in 2008, I had my hopes up, way up there. I had my hopes up so high, and unfortunately, he did not deliver on any of that. And actually, they've officially, like, basically killed the Affordable Care Act. And so basically we are back to pre-Obama era of medical insurance shittery, which is like not good. And then Lauren added here, Obama could have codified Roe, but he didn't. Exactly. I mean, he could have done a lot of things, right? Like he really wasted a lot. Really wasted a lot. A lot of opportunity. Just threw it away for nothing. Healthcare, housing, and food should be a right for everyone in the world, in my opinion. Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And like, look, we in a modern era, there's enough wealth and prosperity and profitability going around that like we could basically prevent a lot of these things from happening, and no one would need to like actually suffer for it. Like a lot of these billionaires and millionaires, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, like if they live in like a if the reason why they need so many millions of dollars is because they own 5 multi-million dollar properties and they need to pay the property taxes and they all this shit, like no, I just don't think you should have all of that. Like I'm sorry, like I think that like in order for everyone to be able to have food and housing and healthcare, it makes sense that no one should be living with a level of extravagance that like has basically only been reserved for shitty um uh like shitty kings and like monarchs throughout the yeah, you know, it's really really shitty. Let's see here. Hello, Red Fire Blue Ice. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy to see you all popping in. Just gentle nudge here for y'all to smash that like button. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Red Fire Blue Ice, thank you for the $2. Boycott BK for firing a worker for free speech. Is that Burger King? Is that what you're saying right there? Um, is that what that is? Is that Burger King? I haven't heard about this Burger King story. I would love to know a little more about that. Um, when profit is the only motivation in healthcare, profit is the only motivation. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And look, like I think if you ask a lot of nurses and a lot of doctors and stuff, like they don't want they don't want the industry to be profit driven. Like most people that work in healthcare care about the health of people. Like that's why doctors get into the business, most of them. Like, you know, like there are people who get into the business because they want to be rich or whatever, but like I would I would argue that like a lot of people working in healthcare genuinely give a shit about the safety and well-being of other people, but you know, it's like the shareholders and the corporatization and the business elements of these companies that become like parasitic uh leeches that just like keep inflating prices so that the insurance middlemen and the shareholders can take home maximum profits. And like I mean, like you can go as far as to look at like the pharma industry. You know, pharma does not do jack shit for us. You know, like they don't even research new medication anymore. They take all of the money that they would be putting into R&D and they just like use it to inflate their own stock value and to pay out their CEOs insane amounts of money. You know, like I firmly believe that if you're working in the pharmaceutical industry or you're working in a hospital industry or whatever, you do not deserve to be making millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars every year just so that like which requires, you know, the industry to inflate everything and make everything like unaffordable for literally everybody. Like I think that that's like a that's like a dereliction of duty essentially. Let's see. So I'm trying to keep sorry, not moved, started a new job. Oh no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean the point still stands. I'm disabled, I can't handle work. I'm not lazy. I take care of my mom. I do all the stuff around the house. I just can't hold work. Yeah, and I don't, you know, I don't blame you, Lauren. Like I don't blame you at all. And like I there are people who are unable to work in the traditional sense of the thing, but like you still contribute to like your household and your family and over here in stream you're, you know, you're contributing your opinions and stuff and like I don't know, like I think I just don't think like a lot of people act like you need to earn the bare necessities of life to live, and I think that that's like super shitty. I think that's super shitty. Like, I don't think anyone should have to prove their worth to, like, have water, clean drinking water, or have, like, food, or have housing, or healthcare. Like, I do think that those things are human rights, and they've been stripped away from us and sold back to us at an inflated price tag, just again to enrich the fucking the millionaires and the billionaires and the owner class. Free speech is fine as long as you don't do it in your work uniform or with a uniform in the shot. No company wants the drama more than they create themselves. Yeah, I mean, like, look, if you're saying something, if you're doing a free speech thing, then like you do need to like you got to make sure that you're being clear about like, hey, this is my opinion, not the opinion of my employer if you're in a work uniform or whatever. But like, regardless, free speech is free speech. Like I think people should be allowed to voice their opinions even if they are in a work uniform. I think that it's like look, work jobs are like one of the most authoritarian structures like on the planet, but also in our country. Like if you think about the way a workplace runs, it is authoritarian. Like you do not have the same rights that you have at a workplace that you have outside the workplace. And I think that that's really unfortunate. I think that that's not good. I think that you should have the same rights in or out of uniform. It should be protected. Like protected speech is protected speech. It doesn't matter if you're in a work uniform or not, in my opinion. That's just my personal thing. Like I don't think anyone deserves to get like um yeah. It's true. I have friends that struggle to keep jobs and it's usually layoff or quit because of lack of hours. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. Like 10 hours a week is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Um no, that's like when Christians say without the Bible, why not murder? Just reduces everyone to robots without a moral core is just dumb. Yeah, no, I agree with that too. Like obviously there are ways to like we do not need religious texts in order to have morality. Like that is kind of silly. Like I mean like, you can look at people who are not religious and they're not like monsters. Like people are not monsters just because they don't have a faith, like it's such a misnomer and it's such a silly thing to try to argue to where are we seeing all of these like leagues of like hyper violent immoral atheists? Like where are we seeing this? I'm not seeing it. um Obama was a huge disappointment, but he was a lib, and that's what you get from libs, disappointment. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Leah, you should try to get on leftist mafia now that you do Thursdays, by the way. I mean, hey, I would be super down to do stuff like that. Like I would love to go on some shows or just collaborate with other content creators. So I don't know if they have an email. I'll look for an email from them. Actually, maybe I can check their YouTube real quick and see if they have an email. See if they have an email. That like I'm not gonna lie, I would be scared. Select all the images with bridges. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I did it. Oh, okay. I can't find a specific email for leftist mafia because the humanist report and stuff. I would need to here, let me click their stream real quick and see if I can find an email in the description or something like that. Um, yeah, I mean they have some really good people in that show. It would be kind of an honor to be a part of that, to be totally honest with you. I don't see. I don't see like an email specifically for leftist mafia or anything like that. So I'm not really sure how I would get in contact with them or anything like that. But I can look into that on my own free time a little bit more. We'll talk about this Burger King thing here in a second. Let me finish catching up on chat here. May be a Burger King, but we are no burger puns. That's so funny. RBR short films, you're amazing. I'll never stop voting, protesting, and fighting for your rights. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. BK is as fake as their logo. True. Have it your way. Sounds like nuh-uh. Be back a little later. Dinner calls. Enjoy your dinner. Start work at 4 a.m. Have a good evening. See ya, Joey. Thanks for stopping by. Someone I know is so deep into billionaire bootlicking, she thinks we deserve basically nothing, and the billionaires deserve everything because in her eyes they're superior. It's a bleak mentality. Yeah, Mackenzie, thank you for bringing that up. It's like really, really shitty. Oh hey, left of the box. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to see you here. I'm trying to remember your name. I think it starts with an S. Sarah? Is it Sarah? I can't remember. But hello, welcome. I sent you an email yesterday. Um I wonder if you got that or not. Let me see here. What was I talking about? Oh, the billionaire bootlicking. Yeah. Sandy, I'm sorry. That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Good to hear from you. Yeah, billionaire bootlicking is really unfortunate. Like if you just look at the math of it, it doesn't make sense, right? Like the math of billionaires is like they have more money than they could possibly ever need in their entire lifetime. So like even if you believe in like meritocracy, even if you believe that there is some reason why people, if they work really hard, they deserve to have a little more. Like like I in a sort of basic kind of way, I don't disagree with that. Like, yeah, if someone does some incredible achievements or whatever, maybe they do deserve to have like a couple extra treats. But when we're talking about billionaires, we're talking about like something that is so fundamentally far beyond that, right? Like it's not meritocracy. It's actually the opposite of that, where like those who have more, and those who who already have the money are able to enrich themselves even more. Like the only way someone is able to become a billionaire is by building that wealth off of the backs of other people. Like you have to impoverish and disenfranchise and like trample all over other people's rights in order to be able to become a billionaire. And so like in a sane society, even in America, meritocratic, well, I don't even know how you say that. Even in something where you have the ability to like profit from your work, like I don't think that being a billionaire makes any sense. Like honestly, like I think being a multimillionaire, even like uh having over $1 million, like sure, okay, whatever. Like if you wanna have like 1, 2, 3 million dollars or whatever, sure, whatever. But like the real issue is that these people are getting paid millions of dollars every single year. Like look at some of these CNN hosts and some of these like media hosts who are getting paid like $20 million a year, $30 million a year. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, in what world does that make sense? Like, who needs that much money? What all you have to do is look at like what the kind of lifestyle that you need to live to require that kind of money is such an extravagant over the top kind of lifestyle that I think it's like not even really like it doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. I think it's ridiculous to think that someone needs something like that. I got the email. I've just been overwhelmed today with stuff. No, that's totally fine. I get you. I totally get that, by the way. I mean, like I had some people in my community asking me to email you for like, gosh, I don't, it's been weeks, and I kept forgetting and I kept having so much going on. I just kept forgetting to email you. So I apologize it took me so long, but yeah, I would be totally interested in doing some collaborating with you on some content. That would be super cool. Um yeah, that's wow. I hate the type of same photo thing. Yeah, me too, because it's always vague, right? Like they're always like, "Oh, anything that has this." And then you have like one example of something where it's like, "Well, it kind of has it, but not really." Like if it's like anything with cars, but there's like one wheel in the frame, it's like, does that count as a car? Is this a car? Um, may just be humanist report, Matt Bender email. Yeah, I'll reach out to maybe like some of the people on Leftist Mafia individually and see if I can get in contact with any of them to see if they'd be interested in having me on. That'd be cool. Where am I? She gets legitimately mad when anything passes that might help people because it takes away from her idols. Dude, okay, I gotta go on a rant for a second here. Idol culture is like one of the single most toxic things in American culture. And like it's around the world too, like right? Like idol culture is something that seems to be kind of like ingrained in people's minds as like an important thing or something like that. Like I don't know where it really comes from. It's probably something to do with like tribalism or something like that, where like people kind of like naturally feel this instinct to like have leaders or people that they like trust to like lord over them, and then they become like subservient to that person. Like I've seen this kind of mentality take place in workplaces. Like I've been a manager before, I've been a general manager before, and honestly that was like one of the most uncomfortable things for me in workplaces. Like when I was a general manager, um uh like I was pretty chill, right? Like of course I followed the rules and did what I had to do or whatever. But like as a general manager, I felt really uncomfortable with people like treating me with authority, like treating me as the authority, because it like changes the way people interact with you. Like people when they view you as the boss or the leader or the idol or whatever, they like put you on a platform and they talk about you in ways and they treat you in ways that I think is like a little bit dehumanizing, to be totally honest with you. Like I don't think that anyone who you idolize is necessarily like better than anyone else, period. Like there's a lot of people who like idolize people, but like the person you're idolizing is just a person, right? And there's a reason why they say don't meet your heroes, because like your idolized understanding of who someone is just super like screwed up, right? It's super screwed up. And like if you meet that person, if you know anything about them, you'll realize that like no one is worth idolizing, to be totally honest with you. No one is worth idolizing. Like I don't think there really is anybody who is worth like that kind of like treatment, to be honest, because it dehumanizes people. Like there's this quote, I can't remember the exact quote, but er, uh let me try to find this quote here. Sorry, I'm this quote's gonna be really hard to see. Um, yeah. Okay. So this was from Alan Watts, and I can't find the exact quote, but essentially, Alan Watts observed that when Westerners encounter Eastern spiritual traditions, they often mistakenly place High Lamas, Zen masters, and Hindi gurus on pedestals of reverence, viewing them as superhuman rather than human beings. He argued that this elevation of teachers to a divine status, similar to how Jesus Christ is often viewed in the West, inadvertently excludes the seeker from accessing those same states of consciousness as the path of liberation becomes confused with the cult of personality. Watts emphasized that these teachers are human beings who are not afraid to participate in the pains and struggles of existence, and that true understanding requires recognizing that the Buddha nature is present in everyone, not just in the enlightened few. He warned that these traditions become venerable. Ancient masters are often elevated to a level of sanctity that makes the idea of liberation seem remote and unattainable for the average person. Yeah, so like I can't I really wish I could remember the exact quote. But essentially like what he said is that like Westerners idolize these people and they view them as like the masters of existence and these superhumans or whatever. And then they go over and they meet them and they realize like, oh, this person smokes cigarettes. Or oh, this person has a girlfriend. Or oh, this person gets really angry sometimes and yells at people. And when they realize those things, suddenly like their whole entire worldview crumbles apart because their worldview includes viewing this person as some kind of like superhuman individual, someone who is like worthy of idolizing. And I think that that's just really dumb. It makes me really frustrated. I I think it's bad. I think it's bad, okay? I think it's bad, okay? Um, Physically impossible to achieve with labor. Susie, yeah, thank you for that point, by the way. Is that like a lot of these billionaires, like the only way that they're able to achieve billionaire status is by leveraging capital, by basically taking your money and choosing where to invest it and then profiting off of your money, right? So like if someone wanted to become a billionaire by actually like trying to work their way to that status, you would never make it there. You would never make it there. Like fundamentally, I think it really shows where like our priorities as a culture and as a society have gone horribly wrong. Like you know, you have food workers, service workers who were viewed as necessary workers, by the way. Like when COVID happened, I was working in food service. We kept working. Like I kept working in food service even when COVID was like peak levels. And first of all, that was really scary. But second of all, isn't it wild that we're paying people like non-livable wages to like sacrifice like their health and wellness for the so that people can go out and like eat a hot dog or like get a quick bite to eat or whatever? Like isn't that fucking crazy? Like I find that to be like totally unhinged and completely bizarre. Like I think these people deserve living wages at the very least, especially if we're going to view them as necessary workers, like necessary to the functioning of society. Like, shouldn't we put a little more of a price tag on that? Like, shouldn't these people be at least allowed to afford to live or something like that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking crazy talk over here, but um, it's hard to grasp, but that's just what's even happening in the USA as someone who doesn't live there. Anyways, how are you holding up, Leah? I'm doing okay, Chloe. Welcome to the stream. Happy to see you. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I just started doing 4 days a week streaming here, like as a way to like boost my my involvement and get a little more consistency and try to like, you know, just do the thing. So yeah, for those of you who do not know, I am now doing Tuesday through Friday. On Mondays, I will make a post where I talk about my schedule for the week. And yeah, I'll be here Tuesday through Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be the news and politics streams, and then Friday will be like the chill gaming or whatever stream. So you get a little bit of like a little bit of relaxation from me on Fridays and everything, which should be cool. The rich donate to politicians that will block or pass policies that benefit only them. Yeah, it's like it's undemocratic, you know? Having billionaires or having people with such insane wealth is undemocratic because they're able to leverage that wealth for their own interests, which fundamentally go against the interests of the working class. Like I find it crazy when people do not concede that point or do not understand that point. Like there's like a power dynamic happening here. And the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Like that's literally true, and it's because the rich want to get richer. It's not because the poor want to get poorer. You know, like there's an imbalance of power. Uh, the Swedish are so awful. Yeah, such bad peace-loving people. Yeah, for sure. Um, you never stopped working throughout the pandemic. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ashlyn. I mean, like you know, it is what it is. Like I wasn't able to stop working, so you know, I feel it. Living wages should be implemented. The slave wage of the minimum wage of 7.25 in most places is less than begging on the street wages. Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And like, you know, like if we're like, yes, there are a lot of places that will pay you above minimum wage nowadays, but they're not paying you a living wage, right? Like the minimum wage has lagged so far behind on what a livable wage is. Like even if we were able to raise the minimum wage, it would probably not get raised. Like even if we bumped it up to $15 an hour nowadays, which was kind of like the old like asking price for like progressives and stuff back like $15 an hour is not enough. It's not enough anymore. And it honestly wasn't even enough back when they were asking for 15 an hour. Like if you want people to be able to live off of a wage, Like, we're talking, like, at least $20, $30 an hour, and then you have to calculate the fact that, like, certain people live in places that are incredibly expensive that, like, need to be making even more than that to be able to make ends meet. Like, if you're working in New York City, if you're working in LA, you probably need to be making $40, $50 an hour just to be able to afford to live, which is wild, which is wild. 1990 last wage hike from the government. Yeah. Yeah, like before I was born was the last wage hike from the government. It's unbelievable. Life has gotten like unbelievably more expensive since then. Uh Corey McMillan, hello, welcome to the stream. And Michelli, welcome. Let's see here. They'd have to be immortal, yeah, to be able to make $1 billion. Yeah. The episode of SpongeBob from 2000 when he met the pickle guy was the great representation of the truth of idol culture. That's so true. Some GOP clown from Texas told people to eat ramen for dinner and get another job. Dude, fuck that guy. Like, look, the whole like fetishization of like living in extreme poverty to be able to like make ends meet to be able to make it is such a shitty thing. Like, people should not have to, like, if you're eating ramen like on a regular basis for meals, like that is not proper nutrition. And like, I don't know, like aren't a lot of these people like for Maha, you know what I mean? Like, you're talking about some GOP clown from Texas. They're simultaneously telling people that they need to eat ramen, which has essentially no nutritional value to it, which is why it's so dirt cheap. But also, like, they probably support Maha and think that we should not be eating processed foods. Like, if you think people shouldn't be eating ultra processed, super cheap, shitty, non-nutritious food, maybe we need to create mechanisms that would allow people to afford the good food that will not malnourish their bodies and keep them alive. You know what I mean? Like, it's so dumb. It's like being pro-life and forcing people to have children that they're not able to afford to take care of, and then fundamentally also supporting a reduction of safety net measures that would give people the money that they need to take care of that fucking child. Like, you're forcing someone to have a child they can't take care of, and then you're refusing to do anything to help this person take care of the child. Like, I don't understand how people don't see the insane hypocrisy of that, or how that leads to bad outcomes. It's so wild. The fight for $15 an hour lasted so long that now it's the fight for $25 an hour. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And you know what's really funny is that, like, when they attack a lot of leftists and liberals, they still say $15 an hour. Like, a lot of the right wingers who do that. It's like it's so shitty. It's so shitty. Um when corporations are people, then only corporations can win elections. They do not need voting blocks when they are their own blocks as a corporation. Yeah, exactly. Like, I agree with that 100%, that like people in corporations, people who work in a corporation already vote. A corporate entity doesn't deserve to have voting rights. And we shouldn't be allowing corporate entities to lobby and do all this shit to be able to try to buy out these politicians in order to create an environment that's better only for the corporations. Like, I don't know, like, a lot of this stuff nowadays feels more prescient than it ever has been in like basically all of American history. Like, to be totally honest with you, like the wealth and inequality and the wealth disparity is so bad, and inflation and prices and everything going up so quickly is like really indicative of the fundamental issues of the time. And I think that like people are waking up to that. Like, I think a lot of people are waking up to it. I think like, even if you talk to a lot of Republicans and stuff, like a lot of these people who might have been pull yourself up by bootstraps kind of people back in the day are starting to see that there's really like the bootstraps don't work. Like, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but if you can't find a job to pay you enough money to live, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Um, Hawaii yearly requirement is like 100K a year for a single person. Yeah, I mean, like, if you look at the requirements to be able to live in like places like Hawaii or LA or whatever, like, in order to be like above the quote unquote poverty line in somewhere like LA, like, you have to be making well over $100,000 a year. And that is so far outside the wages that most people are making that like it's insane. He also said that people should have 4 roommates and eat ramen, which sounds pretty communist to me. That's wild. I mean, like, look, uh, I've lived communally my entire adult life. I've literally never been able to afford living on my own, without, like, roommate assistance and stuff. Like, my entire adult life, I've lived communally, and, like, I I don't hate it, you know? I don't hate it, but I don't think that we should need to live communally in order to be able to afford to live. Like, I think that that is indicative again of the problems of the time where it's like, okay, you want to be able to afford an apartment? Too bad. You need to have a friend who also wants to afford an apartment, and by splitting it between the two of us, you can barely make ends meet. Like that's fucked up. Super fucked up. So damn sick of Kamala. No one who lost to Trump should ever be allowed to run again. That's definitely, I feel you there, Persephone. I feel you there, like kind of oh wow, it's already been holy shit. We need to get into this Kamala story real quick. So let me read through what happened here on this Burger King thing or whatever. Um it's from Israel. Where started? Uh Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Okay. With the Burger King thing, there was an employee at work who said free Palestine to, I guess, an Israeli family. And um after he replied that he was Israeli, she told him free Palestine. In a video that he felt threatened. uh, like I I don't know. Like I think people deserve to have the free speech to do that, and like it's not like look, do I think that you should talk about politics at work? Probably not. Like in general, probably not. You know, it's just probably not the time and place or whatever. But when we're talking about like a country that is literally committing a genocide, I do not blame people for being at work and being confronted with like the literal population of people who are committing this genocide and being like wanting to be like, "Hey, y'all shouldn't be doing that." Like, I don't know. Like, yeah. Uh, Sometimes it's 4 to 6 people splitting rent in a one-bedroom apartment. Yeah, exactly. Soaking beans overnight helps soften them and remove the gassy tannins. Rice isn't hard to cook. Yeah, exactly. They're like there are ways to make healthy food that is pretty cheap. So I do recommend people learn how to do that for sure. Uh, I've been really disgusted by how much influence Maha has been getting lately. So many people are basically been brainwashed by this counterproductive movement that will send us to the dark ages. Yeah, well, like it's part of the issue where like, look, if you provide zero solutions, if you provide zero solutions for a problem, then someone else is going to take advantage of that. And that is exactly what Maha represents. The Democrats could have done, like, look, if we already had Medicare for all, and if we already had regulations on food that, like, did stuff about factory farming and did stuff about the general fucked up way that American food is handled, if we already took care of all that stuff, there would literally be no reason to have Maha. They would have no legs to stand on. There would be no problem for them to posture on to build support. And that is exactly why Trump and MAGA and Maha have been able to get a foothold in our country in the first place. It is because entirely of the fact that Democrats have done fuck all to make the country better for people. And when you do that, people get disenfranchised, they lose hope or whatever, and then someone else is going to posture as if they're going to make things better, and they're not. But like when if you're able to call out the issues, even if your solutions are dog shit, people are going to put stock in that. What should Democrats focus on the most for the midterms? Delivering, like, in a broad sense, Democrats need to focus on actual deliverable change that will actually make life better for people. Like, Democrats should be focusing on Medicare for all, or literally something like an actual measure that would make things better for Americans, and not some half-assed, means-tested bullshit where, like, if your grandma's last name started with a J and she made less than $65,000 a year in the year 1982, then you can apply to receive a potential, like, loan at a low interest rate to help you with the purchase of your first home. Like, no, that's dog shit. That is not helpful. That does not change materially the conditions in the country to make life better for people. Like, they need to literally do something. Like, I don't, like, there are many things that they could do, right? But like voting reform, like, you know, like getting ranked choice voting, abolishing the electoral college, Medicare for all. I mean, there's, you go on and on and on, like ban stock trading, get money out of politics. Like, there are there's a whole laundry list of things, and these are broadly popular too among the American population. Like, a lot of these things are things that everybody wants, not just Democrats. So like, yeah. Uh we have the same problem with wages here in Japan. Our highest minimum wage in Tokyo is like 1,200, which is the current exchange rate is about 750 an hour. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. It does sound like I've heard stuff lately that the Japanese economy is going through the ringer right now, and I'm really sorry to hear that. That sounds incredibly tough over there. So I'm sorry about that. It's always really unfortunate to me that as Americans we are shielded from the worst of our own economic consequences, and other people around the world have to suffer with the consequences of our actions with foreign policy. It makes me so mad. Ford versus Dodge and Citizens United need to be overturned in Congress before we can really make lasting change. Yeah, that's very true. It seems kind of a counter to his own nuclear family, 2.5 kids. Capitalism is Beth logic to demand that people live with 4+ people, polycules, eating ramen and barely surviving. Yeah, exactly. I mean, these people don't actually believe anything, though. You know what I mean? I'm trying to catch up here. Trying to catch up here on chat, and then we will go into this Kamala stuff here. Blah, 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 blah. We millennials and Gen Z are suffering the worst housing crisis in history. We deserve way better from both parties. I agree. I agree entirely. I mean, like, it's absolutely unbelievable how within, you know, like within a couple generations, the ability to be able to own a home has been completely priced out of people's lives. Like the American dream is a fucking joke at this point. It is just absolutely, like, not a thing anymore. And you know, like, that's something that people used to be proud of, you know? So, like, I don't understand. I don't really understand. Here, I'm trying to find this interview. Oh, wait, how did I get muted? What? When did I get muted? Oh, that's really weird. I don't think I hit the mute button. This happened on a different stream, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Good night all. I'll send you an email later. Okay, yeah, see you later. Thanks for stopping by, Sandy. Um, Shit, I don't know when I got muted. I don't know how much we missed, but my coworkers at my new job tried to get to know me and was like, would you guys like to discuss anarchist theory and insert niche music genre here? Needless to say, I have no work friends. Oh, Riff, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's tough out there. I feel you on the music thing, especially. I like the weirdest kind of music, and like no one likes the kind of music that I like. Dems didn't do anything to improve the ACA. Yeah, and like the ACA was just a band-aid. You know, like the Affordable Care Act was just a fucking band-aid. Like it's not actually, like, it didn't actually solve any problems. So I'm also worried about how anti-vax sentiment is getting more mainstream. Andrew Wakefield is one of the worst people ever to live in the last 50 years. Yeah, Mackenzie, like, yes, it is a problem, but I'm not, like, yes, I'm worried about it, but like also uh I don't think it's going to be a long-lasting problem, to be honest with you. I think especially as we start to see the reemergence of some of these illnesses like measles and stuff. people will very quickly figure out that this is actually not working. But yeah, we have to be able to win back the trust. Like, people don't trust officials, you know? People don't trust never muted. I was definitely muted for a second there. When I went to pull up the video, the Kamala video, that's what happened. I don't know. It's fine. So, like, if we can get the trust of people back, if we can get people Medicare for all, and we can, like, get people to trust us a little bit, then I don't think we're gonna have too much of an issue convincing people that, like, it's in their best interest, to be honest. First, they have to get rid of the filibuster to pass all the popular policies. Yeah. If I were a Democrat politician, I'd put, I will make sure you don't get explosive diarrhea. I'll make sure you can afford healthcare and good food so you don't have to worry about it on flyers. No, for sure. But, like, to be honest with you, like, yes, all of that is good, but none of that is specific policy. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, Democrats need to be doing, like, if you're a Democrat or you want to be a good leftist candidate, you need to be running on specific policy positions that you will fight for. Like, I think Mamdani is the perfect example of this. He has achieved a lot of his campaign promises, and he campaigned on promises, right? Like, he really campaigned on things like free buses and all the in rent frees and state groceries and childcare, and he's delivered on all of it so far except free buses. And free buses seem like the most, like, easy, like, he's gonna deliver on everything. And, like, that is the only way forward. Like, none of this buzzword shit, none of this vague posting shit. Democratic politicians need to say Medicare for all. And when I say Medicare for all, I mean Medicare for all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, none of this, like people can smell the fakeness on these politicians. And so when they promise stuff and they don't even try to deliver it, it's like people smell that shit on you. Impeach 3 SCOTUS and install new justices that aren't biased and partisan. Yeah. World economy is effed up because of us not even surrendering, right? Yes, that is a huge part of it. Hi, just got here, so Kamala's back, huh? Did she not make enough money from her book deal explaining how she lost such a winnable election and wanted some writing material at her expense? Wow, Chunky, like, I feel you there. We'll get into the interview here. I have my thoughts to share for sure. I definitely have thoughts on it. Or just expand the court with like 6 or 7 more justices and put in socialist justices. Yeah, no, I agree. Expand the court is, like, definitely, we need that. We just be fucking up everywhere. Started a war despite us already stagnating, losing the war, fucking up the surrender, and now back to total quagmire. Yeah, the war is like is very indicative of the Trump administration having no fucking clue what they're doing. Like, I think I have a perfect audio clip for this exact moment.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Oh, that's really interesting. It muted me when I played the sound clip. Let me try that again.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
It didn't do it that time. It muted me when I. That's weird. Anyway, one of my former friends has turned into a legit anti-vax grifter and is obsessed with autism and vaccines and birth rates. Well, look, a lot of these people who are being radicalized to the right are being radicalized to the right because they don't have trust in the establishments. Like, they don't have trust in medicine because they view doctors as profit-seeking scumbags because that's what the industry has kind of made it seem like, you know. And like I said, doctors want the best for people, and scientists want the best for people. But when you blanket everything with profit, it makes it seem like the motives are fucked. And so, like, yeah, like, there are people that are like that, and, like, you have to understand why they're moving in that direction. I hadn't talked to him since 2021. He sends me some nonsense about the dangers of HRT and some nonsense about being trans and gender nonconformity as a whole is an evil plot. Yeah, well, I mean, look, don't that person sounds way too far gone. You can interact with them if you want, but I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I think that maybe you should just let that person uh go off on their own, and hopefully they find their way through that. But yeah, I don't mean that would be my whole platform. It's just make sure the diarrhea and Republicans' metaphorical faces any chance I got because it's tangible explanation. Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with you. Like, like, the government should be here to keep us safe and healthy and help us live our best lives. So I agree. I'm gonna be honest, Kamala's best chance to be president was if Biden died in office. I'm really curious if we'll ever see an election between a male Democrat and a female Republican. I doubt they'll ever run a female Republican on the presidential side of things. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a hard time believing that a woman is gonna be able to get over the line uh, of electability with right wingers. People lost faith in government agencies, and I think they were happy to see it cut up. The diarrhea is super clear as to why that's horrible. Yeah, yeah. Of course, the right wing media commentators and their influencers are saying Mamdani hasn't accomplished anything. I'm like Cope Harder. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, if you live in New York, like, see, this is the thing. Mamdani is a local politician, and this is what I mean when I say that like local offices are actually kind of more important than a lot of these senatorial rates and stuff, or senatorial races, is because like if you're a mayor or if you're a governor, you can do shit. Like you can actually do things for the people living in your state to make their lives better. And if you do that stuff, you're going to win political power and political capital. And so like if you're running as a democratic socialist or a leftist or a progressive of any kind and you achieve these kinds of wins, the people living in your state, like fuck these media people and fuck these people who are just staring in from the outside. Like people that live in New York have seen the benefits of Mamdani. Like like you can be a Republican. This is what I mean, by the way, when I say that like, you know, leftists want life to be better for everybody. If you're a Republican living in New York City right now, your life is absolutely better because of Mamdani, and they know it. Like they fucking know it. I don't trust Kamala at all. She didn't listen to a good portion of the electorate. Yeah, we'll get into it. Let's watch the video and we'll make our analysis of it as we go. Former friend tried to send me anti-trans articles when I came out. I cut ties. I don't blame you. He, according to his social media, I looked, basically lost interest in anything that isn't right-wing conspiracy. Used to have a lot of hobbies. That's sad. I hope so. I could see Candace running in 2028 to 20. See, Candace can be a popular influencer, but Candace Owens is not going to be able to run as a politician on the right. They will eat her alive. They will eat her alive. It makes me so angry that people are ready to throw trans people's health and safety and rights away. They defend just about everyone else. Amnesty UK really drove that point home. Yeah, it's really sad and it is frustrating, and like seeing our rights be stripped away and everything is really bad. But like I think it would behoove all of us to keep in mind that like we need to contextualize all of this stuff, right? Like we need to contextualize the fact that like this is just sort of like a regressive moment. This is a regressive moment, and like, oh, sorry, this video is gonna start playing. Yeah, sorry. This is a regressive moment, but it will not be like that forever. Things will start moving in a positive direction at some point. And what we have to look forward to is like what we have to do is look to the future and coalition build and organize and do your best to get through basically the dark times that we're experiencing right now in order to be able to work towards educating the population and moving towards a better tomorrow. Like I see a lot of the mindset for a lot of people right now on in the trans community is that if we can't stop all of this backsliding, we're fucked. And I'm sorry, there's gonna be some backsliding, and it's just kind of something that we're gonna have to essentially just deal with. But it will not last forever. And the better that we organize, the better that we do outreach and education for the public, and the better that we're able to advocate for our rights and organize, the better the future will look for us. Better start moving quick. I'm drowning here. I'm sorry, and it sucks, and I'm sorry. You know, like I don't have a magic silver bullet for you, and you know, the only thing I can say is that we just have to like look. I live in Ohio. Okay, Ohio is one of the worst states for trans rights right now. Like we have seen so much dystopian anti-trans legislation pass in Ohio in the past even 2 years. It's kind of insane, right? And I have been active in activism. I have gone out and lobbied against this legislation. I have gone out and fought against this anti-trans backslide, and a lot of it got passed anyway. Like I literally went out and gave public comments for a lot of this for this stuff, and like fought back against it. Went out and spoke to our leaders in the Democratic Party and all of this shit. I absolutely did all of that, and a lot of it got passed anyway. And unfortunately, like that is just the reality of the situation that we are in. like no singular person, no singular group, and no singular force is going to be able to counteract the age that we're living in. Essentially, it's really frustrating. It is very frustrating, but like I don't know. I find for me personally, like I'm not trying to like browbeat or anything. Like I'm not trying to come at you at all. I promise. Like basically what I'm getting at here is that personally for me, living in such a shitty state and dealing with such a backslide and dealing with some of these really dystopian transphobic legislators, the only thing that has really helped me get through this with my mental health intact has been the idea that like um contextualizing like contextualizing from all the way like pre-Stonewall until now and the potential future. You know, understanding where we have come from for trans rights, where we are right now, and where we will be in like 20, 30 years. I still have a very hopeful feeling about all of that, you know? And I know that right now it's like hard to see the light through the darkness, but the light is the thing that I'm looking forward to. It's the thing that I'm fighting for and fighting to see in the future. And I believe that it's possible. I believe it's totally possible. Welcome Alan Wake Chicken Bake. You still have a really cool username. All right, we're gonna jump into this Kamala interview. Whew, lot of ranting today. I can't believe how Ohio went from blue to purple and now red. Well, look, Ohio is still purple, right? Like I've said this before. Ohio is still purple. It's just we have like the most gerrymandered state in the United States, and the Republican supermajority is entirely fabricated here in Ohio. As an Ohioan, there are a lot of Democrats. There are a lot of like I don't know, like moderates that the Republican coalition in terms of the base in Ohio is actually not like it, it's not overwhelming. You know, it's like they do not deserve to have a supermajority based on voting and stuff. Like it's literally voter disenfranchisement and gerrymandering and all this other shit. uh I'm just trying to stay strong by making light of the desperation. Yeah. Yeah. That's all we can really do, really. That's all we can do is and that's part of the reason why I advocate for people to get involved with support groups, right? Like this is really scary stuff to go through, especially if you're alone and you don't know a lot of queer people or a lot of trans people in your life. But if you get involved with a support group, like it can really, really, really help make a lot of this stuff easier to cope with and to deal with. And I find that really important. Like we strengthen numbers, right? Gives me hope. We just have to get fighting. Yeah. Also in Ohio, I've been alive for the past 6 presidencies. And what seems to happen is they just flip back and forth between a Democrat and Republican every 4 to 8 years. Nothing lies. Yeah, no, for sure. Shit, in 2023, I told people the G side in Gaza would happen, but I also said that nobody in the West would care at all back then. I've been surprised to see so many care since then. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm originally from North Carolina. It's the same way. It's super purple, but people paint it to be as red. Yeah, yeah. I too believe that trans rights will be achieved. I was kind of in a support group in Japan, but it kind of fell apart last year. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe you need to make your own support group. Okay, here we go. We're gonna jump into this. We're gonna watch the Kamala interview here. Uh, buh, 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 buh. Moving stuff around. All right. Here we go. Here we go. North Carolina is also gerrymandered like hell. The only reason we have all these anti-trans laws. Well, yeah, like, look, Republicans are a minoritarian party. They would not be able to hold power ever again if they didn't cheat. If Republicans didn't cheat, they would never hold majority power ever again. Like, literally ever. Because, like, Democrats represent, like, 40 million more people than Republicans. Like, Democrats overwhelmingly represent the majority of the population. So, yeah, like, I think also keeping that in mind is important because it says a lot about what we have to do to be able to make this country a better place. All right. Here we go. We're gonna... Did I turn on my headphones? Okay, I did turn on my headphones. We're going to watch this interview. We're gonna watch this interview. I am leading into this. I just want to say I do not feel very kindly about Kamala Harris right now. I have to be very upfront and honest with all of you. If you watched my content 2 years ago, I started my channel during the run up to the 2024 election. And part of the reason why I started my channel was because I was fucking terrified of a second Trump administration. And so one of the founding motivating principle, like one of the motivating principles behind why I started my YouTube channel was because I really, really, really wanted to avoid the second Trump term. And I wanted to do like literally anything possible to try to encourage people to vote so that we could avoid the second Trump term. For this reason, because of that principle, I ended up advocating for Biden, which I fucking hated because he's a genocidal maniac. And I also advocated for people to vote for Kamala because she's a I don't think she's a genuinely good politician. But at the time, it kind of felt like it kind of felt like the Republicans are holding a gun to our heads. So I did what I did. I endorsed her, or however you want to say it. I encourage people to vote for her. And yeah, I mean, look, she was a huge letdown. The way she handled the campaign, the way that she did everything in 2024 was not good, to say the least. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into Fred. Get off the table, buddy. Get off the table. So let's go ahead and jump into this interview, and let's see where she's at now.
Thank you for stirring our souls, Pastor McCarroll. And ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to Mark H. Morial, President and CEO of the National Urban League.
I don't really care for all of this, yeah, I don't really care for all of this, introductory bullshit. I'm not trying to, I don't really care. This guy's just gonna be, introducing Kamala for 7 hours? Okay, let's just skip ahead to 7 minutes of him just yapping. Oh my god, dude. Okay. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Jesus, that's loud. Here, I'm sorry about that. I'll crank it down a little bit. Oh, is that copyrighted music? Can you stop playing the fucking copyrighted music?
We're excited to have you with us this afternoon, and we've got people here from all over the country.
Yeah.
But I reminded everyone that you have been here more times than I can count. On the back of the envelope, I think I've counted 12 times.
Is that right? Yeah.
But maybe I've missed a few between this and our legislative policy conference and many other engagements we've had. So we are indeed so proud that you're back today. I want to start today with just your assessment, your sense of the moment that we are living in, the condition of this nation, and the challenges we have, because we're trying to maintain hope.
Yeah, that's right.
We're trying to maintain strength. We're trying to maintain the fight. What's your assessment? What's your sense?
Oh, also, just want to quickly say, hey, thanks for all the likes on the stream. I really appreciate that. If you wouldn't mind continuing to hit that like button, I would be super appreciative of that.
What commentary would you have on the state of affairs at this moment?
How's that for being articulate?
Easy question.
Well, let me preface it by first thanking you, Mark, and everyone in this room for the work that you are so dedicated to, that is about lifting up the voices of people who must be seen and heard and receive the dignity to which they are due. It is tireless work. It is often thankless work. And the leaders in this room do it every day without any expectation of award or reward. And I am so deeply thankful to you for lifting up and carrying the legacy of this incredibly important American organization and institution, especially in these most troubled times. You know, we are looking at a historic moment, and not for good reason.
Whoa, do you think? I mean, like, come on.
We are looking at a moment that has been about taking us back. You look at the Calais decision, taking us back to Jim Crow. You look at a United States Supreme Court. I became a lawyer because of one of the people I idolized, which was Thurgood Marshall. And everything he did and they did on that court, everything Charles Hamilton Houston and Constance Baker Motley did to allow that court with Thurgood to do the good work that was about trying to make real the promise of America when it comes to liberty and justice and equality. Yet we are living in a time where we see the three branches of government that are supposed to be co-equal, that are under their watch, allowing a disintegration and deterioration of those principles and values that we have held ourselves out to value and hold dear. We have seen a United States Supreme Court, which now, a few years ago, told the chief executive, the president of the United States, he'd be immune from whatever he does in office. And so what have we seen as a result of that and so many other factors? We have seen what should be three co-equal branches of government now become one superior to the other two.
Okay, I just want to start off by saying that, like, why is she being so, like, look, I think that, like, I think this whole thing of, like, being super wordy and trying to be, like, high-minded and trying to be, like, the intellectual of the conversation and stuff, like, people don't even really appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you want to appeal to people, and if you want to get people on your side, and if you want to make a good argument, this whole idea of Fred, this whole idea of, like, talking like this is just, it's just so unemotional. It's so, like, who does this appeal to? Who's listening to this and they're like, yes, the three branches of government and democracy and like whatever. Like, no one gives a fuck. Like talk about it with emotion. Talk about this stuff as if you care, because none of the way that she's talking about all this stuff does not signal to me that she cares at all. Like, all of this is just like, I'm making an analysis of the situation. Like, cool. Are you, like, can you speak from your emotions a little bit? Can you, like, talk like a human being? Like, maybe she could share an example about how she has suffered under the Trump administration. Oh, wait, she hasn't, because she's wealthy. Fred, you better not scoot your butt. I see you about to scoot your butt. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, Fred. Stop it. Don't you scoot your butt, buddy. Leaving little skid marks all over my carpet when you do that. Okay, anyway. It feels watered down, honestly. Speak the truth and don't mince words. She's droning on in a most lawyerly way. Just speak, like, to the people in a way that people will actually listen to. Yeah, no, for sure. Where is she at? She's at the National Urban League. No scooting. Yeah, for sure. No scooting, Fred. He loves to do that. She's not talking to the viewer. She's talking to the audience of the luncheon, hopefully hoping they'll support her push into presidency. I think that's, like, a miscalculation. Like, I don't know who the people in this audience are. I don't know if they're really high-minded people or whatever, but I think that you should be talking to people as if they're just normal people. Like, I really just don't like this high-minded language. Like, it's not helpful. It's not direct. It doesn't get the point across. It's like I don't really feel like, I, like, honestly don't even feel like this is very much of a condemnation. Like, I feel like she's not really accurately meeting the moment with the kind of emotion and rhetoric that would, yeah. Here we go.
In many ways, we see in a state like Tennessee, state governments who are overtly, without any apology,
Fred, don't you dare scoot your butt.
threatening the very thing that we say we stand for,
Stop it.
which is a democracy and the right of
He thought I
its
couldn't see him. I
citizens
saw him
to
through the OBS.
vote.
I saw him about to scoot
I'm
his
sure
butt.
that, Mark, you guys have been talking about what's happening in Memphis.
Oh, yes.
A predominantly black city that has now been carved into 3 different districts, that is intended, that action, to basically wipe out the black vote in any meaningful way in this state.
Okay, like that's an important issue. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? You know? Like
You see what happened with the Calais decision. And, you know, if you read that decision, the court justified it basically by saying, well, it's politics, so we're not going to interfere. You know what they did? They backdoored racism through politics in that decision. And so right now we are looking at a situation in the South in particular where we could lose a significant amount of representation. And yes, we should talk about it in terms of who will lose their office, but we also know that most importantly, it's going to be about the people that will lose their representation. These are troubled times. We have a president of the United States taking America into a war the people didn't ask for, spending billions of dollars without paying attention to the people right here in America who are losing their health coverage every single day because of policies that they're pushing to pay for a tax cut for the richest people in the country.
Man.
Okay, right there. What she just said right there at the very end was like the best part out of this. Like, I don't know, how long was this answer? Let me see. So she's been talking for like almost 5 minutes. That last part was the most impactful thing that she said, because like everything that she has said so far is an analysis of what's going on that I would, yep, like, okay, you got an okay analysis going on, but like I don't find her presentation of this stuff to be compelling. I don't find it to be compelling. And like it's just part of this feeling that I get from Kamala, where like she is a politician and she is playing politician, and like I don't know, I feel like I can smell it on her. I feel like I can smell it on her, and it's disappointing. Here, let me just rewind a second here. And
a president of the United States taking America into a war the people didn't ask for, spending billions of dollars without paying attention to the people right here in America who are losing their health coverage every single day because of policies that they're pushing to pay for a tax cut for the richest people in the country.
Man.
These are troubled times, Mark. And yet, I remain optimistic. And I'm going to tell
I feel like the reason why she's remaining optimistic is because she's like rich or something. Because she's not really being, I don't know. I mean, like, I try to remain optimistic too, but I feel like there are two different kinds of optimism. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I don't know.
Tell you why. Just being backstage here, I met one of the young leaders. She's about to go to law school. Where are you? She's about to go to law school, and we were talking about it. She's been working here at Urban League, and she wants to go to law school. And I said, well, what do you want to do with that law degree? She said, fight for civil rights. Fight for civil rights. She is a member of Gen Z. Gen Z is a bigger population demographically than boomers. Get comfortable with that, boomers. And when I meet young leaders like her, or the young leaders that I recently met at North Carolina A&T, because I heard about how they were organizing around voting rights, and I went to go meet with those students at North Carolina A&T, the largest HBCU in the country, who then told me about how they are in a fight because the elected officials in that state took the polling place from their campus. Took the polling place from the largest HBCU in the country.
Yeah, the generation that she didn't listen to. Exactly. I mean, like, literally, like, oh, you think that Gen Z is, like, politically important or whatever? Like, I don't know. Maybe we should, like, try to listen to some of these young people or something. I don't know.
From our young leaders who are at that phase of life, we all know, those of us who have parented children, that phase of life where we want to make sure they are learning the good habits of being an adult, including to get used to voting every cycle. And they took the polling place. But these young leaders are organizing. They're organizing to the point of raising money to get buses to be able to take the students to go to the polling place. They're organizing.
Okay, but like, why? Like, the reason why these people have to organize is because the Democratic Party has fundamentally failed to put up any resistance literally at all. Like, why is there no funding mechanism on the left to get these people out to vote and to be able to solve these issues? Why do they have to, like, organize to come up with their own money to be able to afford this shit? Like, we can, like, AIPAC can spend hundreds of millions of dollars attacking politicians and, like, oh my god, dude. She's a boomer herself, 1964. Is that oops. Is that boomer? Let me see the years. So okay, so she would basically be like extremely young boomer. Like, she's like the last year of the boomers. But it could also be considered Gen X, I guess.
And going up to their state capitol and demanding to be heard. They're not deterred when they went up to their state capitol, and the leader at the podium in the chambers, they're not deterred when they were told this. They were told, you have 5 minutes to leave. And those students are not deterred, and they are fighting. And they are fighting in the traditions of this organization and all the people in this room. So I remain optimistic, but we have a fight in front of us.
As you think about this Calais decision,
the before stuff was speaking to black voters and the hardships they've gone through than the things that are no, like, I'm not talking about I'm talking about the presentation of the way that, like, she's talking about things. Like, yeah, she should definitely talk to issues for the black community, for sure, and black voters. Like, yeah, 100%. I don't have any problem with that. I don't think that's bad at all. I'm talking about the fact that, like, the way she is presenting all this information is horrible. Like, she doesn't sound genuine at all. She doesn't sound like she cares at all. It sounds like some media, like, or some political analysis that someone handed her on a piece of paper that she's, like, regurgitating, is what I'm talking about.
and the effective gutting of the Voting Rights Act through Shelby and Calais. How do we best respond? You're a brilliant lawyer, been a legislator and an executive. How do we best respond to what is really a setback in terms of a tool that we've used to protect our voting rights? How do we best respond?
Okay, real talk?
Real talk, straight talk.
I honestly don't believe that it will be any time soon that we are going to revive the Voting Rights Act. So I don't believe that it is going to be the best use of our energy right now to try to get that done, because I don't know that it's going to get done right now, the way this Congress is composed and the way they have been treating civil rights issues. I'm hopeful, but I don't know that.
Civil rights for others than yourself seems boring, but I find it compelling being an empath for all. Ashlyn, I'm sorry, like, that kinda sounds like you're attacking me as if I don't care about black voters and black issues. Like, of course I care about it. I am talking about her presentation of the information, which is absolutely dog shit. I don't find this compelling at all, and I think most people watching clearly don't find any of this compelling. Like, a lot of people watching this, like, she's not appealing to anyone. She's not reaching anyone. Like, when people talk about things, like, it's important the way they present the information. It's important. And she is such a born and bred politician that, like, she is incapable of engaging with these things, like, in a way that's, like, interesting or compelling for anybody. And as someone said here, the thing is, what she is talking about is super important. She's talking about it with detached language. She sounds like a Wikipedia article. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I think that pretty much everything that she's mentioned so far in the substance of it is, like, not terrible and, like, important to hear about. But the way that she's presenting this does not meet the moment. Like, there should be a little bit of anger. There should be a little bit of passion. There should be a little bit of, like, speaking from personal experience or personal feelings on the matter, and, like, and there's none of that. She's not doing any of that. Not at all, just stating what I'm hearing, not implicating anyone here about anything. Educated people have a hard time reaching out to the common folk. Girl, I talk to regular everyday people all the fucking time. I am not sitting in some ivory tower. I have, like, I went to college for 2 bachelor degrees. I'm not some, like, academic shut off whatever. And I think you're talking about her and or the way that she's interacting with people. Okay, well, like, look, yeah, like, educated people have a hard time reaching out to comic folk, like politicians. Yeah, sure. She has been, like, it just goes to show that she has not been, like, she has been removed from normal public life for so long that she does not know how to talk to people or interact with people. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I think that these, like, born and bred politicians, these politicians who don't even remember what it's like to be a normal civilian, like, I don't think that they should have power. Like, you know? People that live in gated communities are out of touch with regular people. Yeah. Leah said, this ain't spicy enough. I agree. Harris being feisty was something a lot of people liked in 2024 about her. And the third way told her to be a diplomat. Yeah. When Kamala started her campaign in 2024, she was actually pretty feisty, and she was, like, aggressive and used emotion and used good, like, spoke about things from the heart. And then the second that she integrated with the Biden campaign, all of that died. Like, all of that instantly died. And, like, unfortunately, like, that's just the reality of her as a politician. And, like, it shows how fake she is. Like, it shows how she doesn't really have, like, a true investment in this stuff, like, in the same way that normal people do. It shows that she's willing to flip-flop on her positions over and over as long as she views it as politically expedient. So we can't trust her. Or was it J Street? I don't know, but it was a lib think tank. Yeah. I wish she wasn't tied to Democrat mediocrity. Also, don't tell me it can't be done. We need a third founding. We don't need the VRA back. We need something even better. She needs to inspire us more than the status quo. Yeah. She's talking like an establishment politician. I liked it when she said her piece and didn't take crap, but then yeesh. The thing is, she hasn't lost her vote or her district. It hasn't affected her directly. That's why she's playing politician instead of impacted citizen. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, and that's the whole thing. It's like there's a point of privilege when you're talking. Like, the reason why I'm so passionate about trans rights when I talk about trans rights is because I see the people that are getting, like, brutalized, or the people that are getting murdered, or the people that are getting hate crimes, or the people that are taking their own lives, or the people that are losing healthcare. And, like, these people are in my community. I care for these people. Like, I shed tears when I read these articles about people being harmed by these decisions because it hurts me. It affects me personally. Like, I care, and it means a lot to me. And I think that it's reflected in the way that I talk about the issue. It's reflected in the passion that I bring to the way that I talk about things. You can tell that I give a shit. You can tell that I'm actually invested in the outcomes and in the doing of the things. And like the way she just talks about stuff is just so dispassionate and so disconnected and so political speak, you know? She may still be finding her groove, but afraid to go all out, let the haters rant. Look, like, I wish that to be true, but if you look at her 2024 campaign, she started off running with passion and with heart and with emotion and with, by really, like, letting it all out there, and then she stopped because consultants told her not to. Like, she's clearly not authentic about that shit. She's like, I don't think it has anything to do with her finding her groove. Like she's already had plenty of time to find her groove. What did she do after she lost the election? She just went and hid in some like hidey hole and just like disappeared from the public eye. Like if she was a genuine leader and cared about people and wanted to like build a coalition and wanted to do all this shit, she wouldn't have just vanished from public existence the second that she lost. She would have like stood there and been like, hey, maybe I lost, but I still care about all of you, and I want to push back against the Trump administration, and I'm going to use this platform that I have built up over through the campaign to keep fighting for you even after the campaign's over. She didn't do any of that. The status quo bull is so over. We are in a 5-alarm fire. That's it, privilege. It's always easy to philosophize when it isn't you and your loved ones. We need to raise up someone who actually cares for the community, and if you are that, please stand strong. We got each other's backs, and we'll make it through, or we'll make what others can't. She cares about making herself money, and that's it. She had a huge wave of popularity and momentum the first month, and then she went to the consultants and tossed Brat Summer down the political drain. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened with her campaign. A recount would have been a small sign she was actually trying, my opinion. There's a lot of things she could have done post losing to like signal caring at all. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a lot of stuff she could have done that she didn't do.
That it's going to happen.
Put Republicans in the DNC convention and banned pro-Gaza speakers. Yeah. If she was told to snub the uncommitted, etc., she isn't honest about running as a leader. Agreed.
Happen anytime soon. So I think part of that it will be anytime soon that we are going to revive the Voting Rights Act. So I don't believe that it is going to be the best use of our energy right now to try to get that done, because I don't know that it's going to get done right now the way this Congress is composed and the way they have been treating civil rights issues. I'm hopeful, but I don't know that it's going to happen anytime soon. So I think part of it is we've got to think about now, and I was talking to this young woman about this, now when they have destroyed the infrastructure we built over decades and had in place with the Voting Rights Act for 50 years, how are we going to achieve the goal when that infrastructure has been destroyed? And we're going to have to be creative. Part of it is these midterms are coming up, and it will make a decision about who at least rules the Senate, the House, if not the Senate. And so we have to do the work of telling people right now, check your voter registration status.
Dude, are you serious? Is her solution just vote? Is her solution just vote for us? Like, she literally said, we need to be creative. We need to find solutions. Okay, what's your solution? What's the thing that you want to do? Like, just vote for us and hope we do it. Just vote for us and hope something changes. Like, what the fuck? That is exactly what Obama did for years and years and years and years. Oh, if you want something good to happen, you need to get more senators in office. You need to get more senators in office. And then we vote and we vote and we vote and we get people in office. And then they do nothing with it. Like, tell us what you're going to do.
One of those people whose names got purged inappropriately. Make sure you've checked on your polling place, because they've been playing games around moving the polling place where your grandparents always voted. And so on election day, when they go to that elementary school down the block, they might find that that polling place is closed. Registering folks to vote and having an agenda that is about turning out the vote in the greatest numbers we have ever seen.
Whoa. Did she literally just say that the idea is to just have an agenda specifically to turn out the vote? Like, dude, what? So the goal is to convince people to vote. It's not to do something. The goal is to get the votes, and that's it. Like, that's basically what she just said. Oh, she's like accidentally saying the quiet part out loud. Like, yeah, we need to vote. What are you going to do if we vote for you?
So that in light of and in this environment where they are cheating, we will be too big to rig. Too big to rig. It means being ruthless. They are ruthless. We need to be ruthless too.
Okay.
And by that, I do not mean cruel. That is not our nature. By that, I do not mean breaking the law. That is not what we do. But I do mean we must be uncompromising. And we must allow for a real conversation about revisiting certain things. For example, and I know this is going to be controversial coming from me in particular, we need to revisit the Electoral College. We need to revisit the point of expanding the court.
Okay. Here we go. Thank you. 20 minutes into the interview, she's saying some stuff that I like. Look, like, yes, expand the court. Yeah, yes. Do, like, Electoral College, get rid of that shit. Yes. What else?
To 13 justices, like we have 13 district courts. We need to revisit, if they so want, statehood for Puerto Rico and D.C.
Yes.
If we regain control of the Senate. I served on this committee.
Okay, you know, like, I'm gonna give her credit where credit is due. The Electoral College is a huge fucking problem. The Supreme Court being packed by insane fundamentalist Republicans is also a huge fucking problem. And those things are the statehood thing is like, I mean, like, yeah, that's really important, especially for people living in Puerto Rico and stuff. But like, not so much like a really huge domestic issue. You know, like, okay, like that's something right there. I wish she didn't bury the lead for 20 fucking minutes in the interview. Like, I know the first question was about like about her thoughts on the general stuff we're going through, but like, okay.
The Senate Judiciary Committee, when I was in the Senate, only the second black woman elected to the United States Senate after Carol Moseley Braun. And the Senate Judiciary Committee has the power to create rules for its committee that don't have to go to the whole Senate for a vote and worry about filibuster and all of that. We should demand, if we win back the Senate, that the Senate Judiciary Committee have the strength to put in place rules that would include, if a nominee for a federal court or the Supreme Court comes before them and starts lying, that they hold them in contempt. If they refuse to give information for which the committee righteously requires, they think about accountability and consequence, and that those members of the Senate Judiciary Committee have the courage, because we require it, to hold people accountable who are misleading intentionally.
Okay. I mean, yeah, like that. I would agree with that. I would say that that's a good thing. Like, there are a lot of people who just get in front of Congress and lie their asses off and obfuscate and do all this shit. And there's absolutely no consequences to it, even though it's supposed to be basically like, you know, you should be held in contempt if you do that kind of shit. There should be consequences. Like I still think that, I don't know. Like, it's obvious. Okay, what I'm sensing from her is that she has moved more to the left and moved farther away from the typical establishment Democrat line. And I'm not sure why, right? Like, and that's the thing that is frustrating about Kamala Harris, is that, like, if you pay attention to her, like, she has run for president a few times. And actually, like, when she ran previously before her 2024 run, she was like kind of a different politician. You know, like, I think her first time running for president, she ran on Medicare for all. And then when she ran, you know, in 24, there was none of that. Like, she had given up on that. And now it seems like she might be revisiting some of these like decent ideas, right? But like, it's hard to trust her when she keeps flip-flopping. Like, you know, she runs in one election and seems like a progressive, and then she runs in the next election and she seems like a moderate, and then she runs in the, like, if you keep flip-flopping, it's really hard to have faith that you care about what you're talking about, and that you care about the things that you actually want to achieve, the things that you're saying. Like, I like, again, in the past couple minutes, yeah, she's definitely saying some stuff that I agree with, right? But like, I'm kind of having a cynical reaction to her, because it's like, she hasn't really given me very many reasons to trust that she very, very, very much means this stuff. So let's just keep listening. Like, her analysis, look, her analysis during this, if we pull away from the optics and the way that she's talking about it, yeah, like, she's had a pretty decent analysis during this speech so far. Like, I would say that the things that she's saying are like nominally correct or whatever. But like, again, it's hard to trust her, and the way that she presents the information and the flip-flopping and all of this stuff, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, why is she suddenly going for court reform and doing all this other stuff? Like, why is she doing that? You know, why is she acting like, it just, I don't know, dude. Like, let's see how she keeps going here.
You really
Like, look, let me put it this way. If she wants to win my trust, she's going to have to make a shit ton of appearances before 2028, and she's going to have to be incredibly transparent leading up to 2028 about her experience in the 2024 campaign and why things went the way they did. And also, she's going to have to be really consistent, and she's going to have to speak from the heart, be a little bit vulnerable about things. Like, if she's not willing to admit like, things about Gaza or things about the Biden administration pushing her to fuck up her own campaign, like, I don't know, we're gonna have problems. Reactionary, not visionary. Yeah, that's how she is being reactionary. It is how it comes across to me. She's reacting to what she thinks are the political winds of the time. Call me cynical, but I assume she just sees leftists doing well and wants to latch on to whatever popular ideas she thinks she will get, that will get her power. I don't trust her at all at this point. No, I look, I agree with you. I don't have really any trust at all in her. The unfortunate part is that, like, look, she has a lot of name recognition, and like, I don't know, it, like, in 28, if it ends up with her or Gavin Newsom in the primary, it's going to be a hell of a hard time picking who to go with. But at least right now, he's posturing in a way that is better than Gavin Newsom. And I know that that is like the lowest of low bars to clear. Like, that is not like meeting the moment necessarily, but like, I'm trying not to be uncharitable. I'm trying not to be like the most uncharitable person ever. I'm trying not to like be bitter and like I'm trying not to analyze everything from the lens of my bitterness towards her. But if AOC runs, I don't think Kamala would have a chance in the primary. I don't know. I don't know if AOC even really has interest to run for president. And even if she does, like, I don't know.
Really embrace an aggressive agenda. We Wednesday night came out in favor of a strong code of ethics for the Supreme Court, term limits for the court, and I support an expansion of the court. And I think people should understand the Supreme Court has not always had 9 members.
Right.
There's nothing sacrosanct about 9 members, and we have to do what indeed we need to do. I want to switch gears to foreign affairs. Let's focus. I want to create this context. So it appears as though American foreign policy is hyper-focused on the Middle East. Not to suggest that the Middle East is not important, but that there is not significant focus on our relationship with Africa, our relationship with Latin America and the Caribbean, while China is on the move. In Africa in a very significant way, has increased its investments there. What should American foreign policy, and how do you convince those, I'll call it beltway types, that American foreign policy should be much more expansive than a hyper-focus on the Middle East? How do you convince, and should it be that, or is the Middle East so pivotal to everything that that is where our focus needs to remain?
So well, let me start with this. As Vice President of the United States, I met with over 150 world leaders, presidents, prime ministers, chancellors, and kings. Many of them multiple times, and developed relationships with them. And I will say that one of the concerns that I've had for quite some time, even before the 24 election, is I worry, and it kind of pains me, to be honest with you. Do the American people writ large understand how important we are to the rest of the world? I don't mean the government, I mean the people. Because part of my experience has shown me that the relationship between nations, yes, it has something to do with the relationship between those leaders, but it also has something to do with the relationship perceived by the people of those nations with the others. The whole history of African Americans in the United States is well known in many parts of the world, and the plight and the struggle has been one of those examples of other nations knowing who we are and finding some level of identification with the need for the people to have to fight for their rights and then see success when they organize and speak up. This person in the White House right now has, first of all, he is the first president of the United States, Democrat or Republican, who has openly thumbed his nose at the importance of alliances. Imperfect though many of them have been, but this one openly thumbs his nose at the importance of alliances. The other thing he openly does is thumb his nose at the notion that America should be a protector of international rules and norms.
I don't know. I don't think you can really get on your soapbox about international rules and norms when you were backing an administration that was complicit in the genocide, that funded the genocide of the Palestinian people. Like, unless you're willing to prostrate yourself and apologize for your role to play in the genocide, like, I really don't even think that, like, you should be allowed to do that. Like, I think that that's fucking kind of gross, to be honest with you. Like she said some decent stuff at like between 19 minutes and 20 minutes or whatever, but the way that she's doing this foreign policy thing right now, it just kind of sounds like American exceptionalism and nationalism, and like, I don't know, like are you gonna call for the arrest of Netanyahu right now? Are you about to say, like, hey, we should arrest Netanyahu? Is that what you're about to say?
He is an isolationist with a supposed America First agenda, who, because of his failure to understand America's role, imperfect though we may be, has accomplished two things. He has accomplished making America seem less reliable as a partner, and he has accomplished that America now has less authority than it ever did to weigh in on global matters. You mentioned the continent of Africa, and I was so honored when you and Michelle came as part of the delegation that I took to the continent, and Ghana being the place where we were hosted with a state dinner. So as vice president, one of the areas of focus for me in international policy was the continent of Africa for a number of reasons, including the median age on the continent of Africa is 18. It is estimated by 2050, 1 in 4 people occupying space on Mother Earth will be on the continent of Africa.
Yes.
So my point as vice president was trying to then change the narrative around our relationship with the continent in a way that, yes, we would preserve whatever we had historically done that was about support for natural disasters, for disease, AIDS, HIV/AIDS being another example, but also that we would shift to understanding the importance of partnerships with African nations. And we raised billions of dollars from American corporations to invest in those partnerships. Of course, what we have seen now, because it is a matter of perspective, we can, as we have learned with this administration, take nothing for granted in terms of how we have always played in the world. When they, it's so unbelievable that they got rid of USAID. And you saw the recent numbers. As many as, 600, 700,000 people have died because of withdrawing American aid for humanitarian purposes on that continent.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like, that's important. Like, out of this whole thing that she just talked about, yeah, targeting the USAID stuff, pretty important. But I'm not feeling super won over by this. Let me just see here. AOC appropriated the Green New Deal from the Greens. You know what I want? I want a U.S. government that doesn't make me as a trans person afraid to return to the U.S. Can I just have that, a modicum of rights and safety? In the future, hopefully. That's what we're fighting towards, you know? I would agree with that. I would hate it, but I would vote for Harris over Newsom in a primary. That dude really gives me the ick. Yeah, I think Newsom is worse. Whoever gets in the office in the future, we need to hold them accountable with the same kind of ferocity of this we hold this current administration with. If they don't live up to that, they're on the chopping block. I would agree with that. There's a reason why we're focused on the Middle East. Yeah. If they can't see what is happening to the Palestinians as a genocide, they aren't going to defend human rights and needs here. True. I don't mean the citizens, I mean the leaders. Our leaders set examples. Trump has given citizens permission to be racist, abusive, transphobic, and misogynistic, horrible humans. I want that to be shamed. I think we'll return to that. To be honest with you, I think that Trump has given a lot of people the permission to be masked off about their racism, their bigotry, their homophobia, transphobia, misogyny, all that stuff. Like, I think that a lot of people feel that like they can go mask off with that stuff, but I don't think that the shaming mechanisms in society have gone away. Like, I think the perception is that people are getting away with it, but what I'm seeing kind of on the ground and from a lot of people is that a lot of these people who have gone mask off and really, really played their cards are getting like fired from jobs, they're being ostracized from their families, they're being told like, you know, you're not allowed to come over to Thanksgiving dinner anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, like Trump gives them a sense of like safety, security, and the ability to do that kind of stuff. But once Trump is gone, I kind of see the collapse of that kind of mentality. I kind of see a lot of people, especially after MAGA, like once Trump and MAGA is gone, his legacy is going to be undeniably bad. Like the left is always ahead of people on this. And so in 5 years, Trump is going to be viewed as this like extremely toxic force in American politics that degraded our institutions and degraded our democracy and degraded people's humanity and made people more reactionary and all this bad stuff. And like, I mean, like honestly, like I think Trump's going to be viewed as a monster. And so like a lot of people, by the very nature of that, are going to be ashamed of the support that they gave for him, at least publicly, and probably, kind of at the very least retreat back into their dog whistling and their bearing the lead and stuff like that. It is being shamed by some of the people, but the Overton window is shifting to the right, and more people are not seeing trans folks as worthy of rights. Right, and yes, that is a problem. But the Overton window is not going to shift to the right forever. That is not going to actually, as a matter of fact, I think that the era of it shifting to the right has already come to an end. I mean, like look at how quickly Trump lost the support of the general American population. I mean, like within the first year of his presidency, his support completely collapsed. So I think that says a lot about like the future of what the population is going to look like. Hope you're right. I want to see that from my vantage here in Japan. It's hard to see the ground level change. No, I get it. Like look, like I've seen people who voted for him 3 times be like, I'm done. I'm gonna vote for Democrats. Like, like I'm seeing stuff like this happen. And I'm seeing people get like yeah. I also think people are getting more reactionary themselves to bigotry in the last couple of years. Do you mean you think that bigoted people are becoming more reactionary? Because they're already super reactionary, but I'm wondering what you mean by that. Education will probably change more minds than shame, but we should still shame people for antisocial behaviors like being a crypto bro. Like, look, like I think we need both, right? Like, I think you should shame the overtly horrendous behavior. Like, if someone is like really violently transphobic or disgusting or whatever, like if someone's like giga racist, like you should like, yes, we should be shaming those people. The education are for the people who are not too far gone, right? Like education are for people that are just misinformed, people that have good intentions but don't have the right information, people who we can reach, who we can actually have an effectual conversation with. And like the people that are too far gone need to be shamed to the point where they just like aren't allowed to voice that kind of stuff publicly without extreme backlash. That way, the cultural conversation moves more to something reasonable and something about, like something productive. I mean, people are getting more pissed about bigots than a decade ago when the idea was just to ignore them. Yeah, no, I mean, I would agree with that for sure. I would agree with that for sure. I mean, like, look, yeah, a lot of people are going mask off, but like, yeah. Shame won't work on everybody, and that's where education comes in. No, I get that. I like again, like I just said, I think it's a dual pronged thing. Like we need to shame the people that are too far gone, and we need to yeah, okay. I think okay. Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's keep watching this. I want to get through at least most of this.
USAID funded the purchase of American agricultural products for countries all over the world. So when USAID shuts down, they hurt farmers, they're growers and producers. And it's so significant. How we now have a war in Iran that the United States.
I usually lean harder towards education myself. No, for sure. Like, look, like I like the shaming stuff. You don't need to do like you don't need to create infrastructure for people to get shamed, right? Like you don't need to create infrastructure for people to like have a general feeling that like, hey, if you have a family member who is an absolute total piece of shit, like that you should like have the right to speak out against them. Like, but you do need to have systems in place for education. So like in terms of effort, I do think more effort should be put towards the education kind of stuff, because you need to be able to bring like a campaign together of people who are going to spend time and energy and effort to go out and educate people. And so you need money, you need people, you need like maybe certain foundations to support. You need mechanisms for that. The shaming stuff requires less, other than just like, just shaming people, right? But um yeah. Yeah, I got plenty of shame being raised in a Christian nationalist bubble. Shame is a blunt tool, and I think we use it for too many jobs. No, I get you. I get you. I mean, look, I was a, like, I guess you would call a centrist moderate for a long time, like before I really got into politics and stuff like that, when I was kind of apolitical and like pretty uninformed. I just had like a lot of people that are apolitical or uninformed about politics view the left as like very browbeaty and very like rude and too aggressive and mean to people and like bullies basically. And like that's kind of a problem, and that's why again the education part is really important, because like we need people who are able and willing to meet people where they are, to have these conversations, to try to be productive and bring people over, because like it took me a long time to want to be a leftist, because leftists for a long time treated me like such dog shit that I did not want to be on the left. Like I just viewed being on the left as a bad thing, because I thought leftists were just mean, shitty people. Um all right, anyway.
States Congress has not authorized. How do we prevent presidents from engaging in unauthorized wars in the future, so that this experience does not become precedent setting for future presidents?
Let me be
just
clear, though.
engage in foreign conflicts at whim and at will that the Congress has not authorized nor funded. How do you stop this?
Well, let me just be on the record. I would have opposed it even if they had approved this war. And here's why. There has been no articulation of the end game.
Right.
There has been, he's now talking about this deal. The deal would basically be what Barack Obama got, that he pulled us out of. And, I think that it is important to not be a conspiracist, but at the same time, you can listen to what people are saying and wonder, is it just a full-on distraction from the things he can't handle or has not handled? But this war is a war of choice.
And I know this is a little bit off topic to what she's talking about here. I'm glad that she's saying she wouldn't have gone to the Iran war. I mean, it's a little bit, it kind of doesn't really matter because she lost, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's good that she's condemning it and shit. But someone here said, I grew up in the 1970s with parents who followed Janice J. Raymond and her transphobia. To this very day, her and her lies about trans people in general, and me in particular, have nearly killed me. Erica, I'm really sorry to hear that. That's really unfortunate. I'm very, very sorry to hear that. And I just wanted to say this, like I don't talk about this very much because like, YouTube is not like a guaranteed kind of game or anything like that. But if I ever really made it on YouTube, like if I was ever a huge channel, if I was ever able to like have enough money to do things, I would 110% fund some sort of like nationwide education program. Like I would love to pay people to go out and like put up informational booths and talk to people and educate people and go out and give talks and all of that stuff. Like I would absolutely love to do that, because that stuff actually does have an impact. It really does. It really is meaningful. Like ground game stuff, going out and talking to people and meeting people and educating people is like, you would be amazed at how effectual some of that shit is. And like, I'm gonna be totally honest. Like if like, I don't want to make any promises or anything like that, because again, like there's a very good chance that I'll never ever reach that point. But if I ever did reach that point where I'm able to make enough money to live and like have some extra, I would be so fucking happy to put some of that money towards something that would help fight for us and help like make things better for like I would be fucking thrilled to do that. That would be like the best use of my money ever. Uh hey there, hey there, toy groiper. Oh my god. What's going on? What's Kamala Harris up to? I voted for her and she let us down. Um, she also hello super newbie. Thank you for first time chats from both of you. She's kind of just doing an interview here, talking to the National Urban League, which is like a civil rights activist coalition or something. And she's just sort of like she's sort of just like going on about stuff. She said a couple good things in here. Like she said we should expand the Supreme Court and we should she said some pretty basic things like do something about the electoral college and stuff. But like she's for the most part waffling, and I overall my analysis of this is that she has been not compelling at all. Like there have been little tiny sections where she has been compelling, but for the most part, it's just like it's hard to believe in the authenticity of anything that she's saying because, um with the electoral college, would you prefer popular vote? Oh, I mean, yeah. Yes. 100%. That would actually be more democratic. Than the electoral college is extremely undemocratic. Who do you think will be the Republican nominee? Oh, fuck if I know. I mean, like, probably JD Vance or Marco Rubio or something like that. Like, it's probably going to be one of these guys who have sort of been posturing to try to, like, build power in the Republican Party in preparation for Trump leaving. Like, I'm sure there's going to be other people running too. Like, I'm sure, like, someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene or someone else is probably going to run. But I feel like probably JD Vance has the best chance to win the primary for the Republican. I don't really know though. I don't really care too much about what the Republicans are doing in terms of their own personal party politics right now. Heck is behind Vance. Israel is behind Rubio. 2028 is cooked though. The Democratic Party will win that, and hopefully we get a reset on the GOP. Never Vance, never Rubio. We'll see. I mean, I have no idea what's going to go on here with 2028. I would love to see some strong candidates, but like it kind of feels like it's going to be like it kind of feels like the primary is going to be Gavin Newsom, Josh Shapiro, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, like all of these people running against each other. Is basically what it's going to be about. I think we need more pointed satire. One of the things giving me super hopium is just watching Count Binface trash Nigel Farage's public support with satire in the UK. I don't know anything about who those people are, but yeah, I think, we should be using the media apparatus the best we can to go after these people. Sometimes even the anti-trans callers themselves change their minds. That kind of education is powerful and it makes hardcore transphobics look silly and laughable. What are we talking about here? The Takis? Are we talking about Takis? Even just some of the YouTuber debates sometimes change the minds of transphobes. I think it's crazy powerful, but it's clickbaity and sometimes useless. But yeah, but like online discourse is generally bad. Generally bad. Look up Count Binface. Okay. Okay. I'll try. I appreciate you letting me stay here and not having a meltdown. I'm assuming that your username is like a joke, right? Like you're not actually a groiper, are you? Like I'm assuming you're joking. Like it's like a satirical username. What issues stand out to you the most? Like in the 2028 election, do you mean? Uh God, I mean there's kind of a lot, like almost too many to recount right here. You know? Like I think like, get rid of the Electoral College. We should get Medicare for all. We should expand the Supreme Court. We should probably get rid of the filibuster. We should. I mean, there's like a whole laundry list of things, but like generally, we need to achieve things that will make life better for Americans, like all Americans. Like people deserve to have health care. People deserve to have housing. People deserve to have food. People deserve to have the things that they need to live without going like bankrupt working 5 jobs to afford those things. Hey there, Jackie. Welcome to the stream. Happy to see you here. The only issues that stand out are the ones beneficial to all and not just one party. It takes a village to raise a child. Yeah. Hey there, Acacia. Also good to see you as well. Hello, hello, hello. The Onion is doing wonders right now. Yeah, The Onion is great. Also, like, I don't know if anyone else saw this, but, InfoWars, Tim how do you say his last name? Heidecker or whatever? He bought the InfoWars, and they've been putting out some pretty funny content. Like, the stuff that InfoWars has been putting out is actually, like, pretty hilarious. So stuff like that is actually really good as well. Anyway, let's keep going here just a little bit.
That this president got into with Israel,
Yes.
with no clear national security issue for us. If you look at it in terms of what was happening with the nuclear program, and there are now courageous U.S. service members who have died. Mm-hmm. They're asking for hundreds of billions of dollars to pay for this war. Meanwhile, you have people in America who are losing their health care every day, yes, cannot afford their...
Medicare for all would be awesome, but why expand the court and do the filibuster? Because it'll just grow the court with Republicans doing the same thing, and even though it's undemocratic to have minority rule, it'll just be turned when the pendulum swings. Well, there's like a long conversation about this. So first of all, expanding the court, a lot of that would have to do with making sure that like these justices are held to actual standards. Like, yes, expand the court, but also term limits, also like repercussions for like taking billionaire money, also like holding these people to account essentially for like ethics and shit like that. Like that's all also important because a lot of these right-wing justices would not be able to remain in the Supreme Court if we actually held them to account for shit. And in terms of the filibuster, we kid ourselves in thinking that the filibuster is protecting us from shit. But like literally the only thing they haven't been able to get through so far in the Trump administration because of the filibuster has been the SAVE Act. And actually, there have been a number of pieces of legislation that the Democrats have straight up voted for, like the Lake and Riley Act. They literally voted for it. They could have used the filibuster and blocked that shit, but they didn't. And guess what? The Republicans are the ones who benefit the most from the filibuster. They are the ones who block absolutely everything that the Democrats get through, and the ones that like absolutely like it's just like we think it's a helpful tool. It's not helpful. It's not helpful at all. And now, of course, all of this stuff needs to be done in conjunction with other things. Like we can't just get rid of the filibuster. We can't just expand the court. We also need to reform voting, like get rid of the Electoral College. We also need to do a bunch of other shit. Ban money from politics, all sorts of shit. But if we do that shit, then things would be a lot better in this country. Like a lot better. I believe in housing, food, and healthcare should be affordable, but I want government out as much as possible. I don't trust either party very much, considering government's treatment of American Indians and veterans. I doubt they can provide the care that people want. Super newbie, I understand where you're coming from. And yes, the Democratic Party in its current form and the Republican Party in its current form are both complicit in raping this country to death. And so I totally get what you're saying, where like they don't care. They don't give a fuck. But you have to understand that like if we get good candidates in office who are able to get these things through, they will do it well and it will work out. Like and actually, as a matter of fact, we pay more for our health care in this country than we would pay for Medicare for all. We end up paying more subsidizing healthcare and doing all this other shit because of the insurance people hyperinflating prices and doing all this stuff. If we were able to get Medicare for all, single payer option, stuff like that, we would be able to negotiate down the cost of healthcare to the point where it would actually be cheaper than what we're paying right now. So we are paying more for a worse healthcare system. And a lot of that is the same thing with food. It's the same thing with housing. And if we were able to like basically cut the price gouging corporate capitalistic bullshit out of the game, we could make that stuff affordable because you'd be paying with it with your taxes, and then it would be covered. It would be good. I appreciate the rational discourse, by the way. Like you seem like you might be a little right leaning or something, super newbie, but I appreciate you trying to have like a reasonable discourse with me. Like that's refreshing to say the least. Courageous U.S. servicemen, along with Israeli settlers, are very low on the list of people being killed in the Middle East that I care about. I meant the courageous in quotes there. Also, hello, damn Sputnik. Hello. Michelle left. Oh, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your engagement. Overcoming. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hi, it would be nice if Kamala Harris is to lower down the price tags and pay. Sure. Some people get paid with more money for doing good work. It would be nice if Kamala Harris is to lower down the price. I mean, you know, like she really didn't give me a lot to believe that. Like in this, she didn't really give me much to believe that it's like actually good and like that she would actually do good things. But yeah. But what if a billionaire wants a 12th yacht? Yeah, no, for sure. Honestly, I'm struggling financially to get a new home and some other stuff because I get my taxes cut off every time I get paid, and some homes are very expensive. No, for sure. For sure. The right is changing just like it is on the left. The younger generations live in the real world and see the problems with capitalism and are more in favor of universal single payer healthcare and stuff, and all the left leaning economic positions. Now we would compromise on all of that stuff and would love it, but we would want stronger immigration laws and stuff. Like, why don't y'all give it up? So you're kind of like I understand your framing and stuff like that, but like you have to understand that the way that we are handling immigration enforcement is expensive and ineffective at the same time. Like, do I think we should have immigration reform? Yeah, but do I mean that in the sense that we should have officers parading the streets shooting people to death over like perceived immigration status? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? Like, there are people who have been living and working in our country for 20, 30 years whom we benefit immensely from them being here. Actually, America as it is right now literally would not be able to exist without the immigrant labor that we are taking advantage of day after day. I think those people deserve to have a pathway to citizenship. I think that if we had immigration reform to be able to keep track of these people, but also to be able to provide them an avenue through which that they can like actually achieve citizenship and work towards that, instead of just being stuck in some like gray area for 20, 30 years and then get like shot in the street by some bigoted shithead who was a part of the Proud Boys and then got hired onto ICE. Like like I understand what you're saying, but the immigration reform that right wingers want is not immigration reform, it's racism. Like the immigration reform that ICE is pushing for, that the Donald Trump administration is pushing for, is literally less effective than what we had under Obama. Obama deported insane amounts of people. Like Obama was like, some people call him the deporter in chief. He deported millions upon millions upon millions of people. He did it in a more humane way, which is why no one talks about it, but fundamentally points to the issue in our immigration system, where instead of having like things that work, you would like, I don't know, maybe have things that do work. Like, I don't know. Jackie, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate that. Immigrants make America great. They do. They do. My family were immigrants. Like there's a lot of people who have families who are immigrants who like literally built this fucking country and do everything that like makes this country better. I heard of argument, yes, but I don't want to pay for the problems of other people. People smoke, drink, do drugs, and take unnecessary risks to their health. When they go to the hospital, they should have others have to pay for problems they brought on themselves. I'm not against Medicare and Medicaid, but responsibility and accountability should play a part. I don't want to pay for things people brought on. Super newbie, I think that's incredibly stupid. I think that's incredibly stupid. Like you're gonna sit here and judge like, oh, if you drink 2 alcoholic drinks a day, you're fine. But if you drink 3 alcoholic drinks a day and you go to the hospital, you should fucking die. That is essentially what you just said. And I think that that's like, that is so stupid, dude. Like that is so stupid. The meltdowns incoming, like, can you relax? Are you really that sensitive that any kind of disagreement sets you off that bad? I think that you're just perceiving some kind of emotional meltdown that doesn't exist, and I think you're just being stupid. So you clearly want there to be, so you want this to be like an emotional meltdown. You want this to be like oh, she's so unreasonable and oh, she's so sensitive. Like, yeah, I care about these issues because I care about people and I care about human rights and I care about the economy, and I want right wingers and left wingers to have healthcare and housing and food and be able to afford life and not be like raped to death by capital. And so, like, yeah, I'm going to speak passionately about those topics because this isn't just some dispassionate, marketplace of ideas or whatever. Like, this is real fucking life that affects everything that people do and go through. And if you're so disconnected or so privileged that you don't have to have emotion or passion when you talk about these things, then, like, frankly, like, you can go fuck yourself. Anyway, let's just keep going with this interview.
Housing, cannot afford health care, cannot afford child care. And so, yes, it is about congressional authorization, but it is also about how do you use the resources and power of the United States of America, our taxpayers and our government, in a way that best meets the needs of the people, yes, in terms of their security first and foremost always, but their well-being as a whole. This war is an example of action that is contrary to all of the above.
Let me ask you another question on a little bit of different vein. In your view, rank the top 3 most effective presidents in American history.
Oh, Mark, don't make me do that.
I don't know if I really care about this question right here. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. For top 3 presidents, I don't really know if I care.
Well, no, you know, it was actually interesting.
Let's see what she says.
I couldn't sleep last night, and I was watching NPR. Was doing did anybody watch a whole thing on FDR? Did you watch it? And it was, you know, of course, his 3 terms in office, and it was interesting to, and of course the role of his wife, Eleanor Roosevelt, and you know, he did some good things. Yep. In fact, it was he who talked about the expansion of the Supreme Court, and then he got ferocious you know, kind of blowback for that. But he did good. It was Social Security. It was, you know, when I think about what he did in terms of investing in the people during dire times and talking about the role and responsibility of government, that it should not just be about the benevolence of community organizations or just interpersonal relationships, that the government has a role. I think that he was a very important president. He appreciated that government has, in my mind, 3 essential functions, which is public health, public safety, and public education. You know, I will credit, like, give me more time to really think about this. I credit, you know, Kennedy, of course, in terms of what he laid the groundwork for, and then Johnson followed up on.
Of course.
Right? Around having the ability, but that was, again, an example of the inside-outside game. Because the reason that happened is because the pressure was on from the outside to appeal to the conscience of the people on the inside.
Yes.
And so I don't think that there's been any great president who has been without that kind of pressure as
So
well. And then, of course, Barack Obama.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
So,
feel like that was kind of a really generic response.
And what he did with the Affordable Care Act.
FDR was not seen as radical. That's BS. I mean, like, definitely the capital class did not really like him very much, but like, I mean, he was popular among the people or whatever. Thanks for the bits. Appreciate it. I don't know why you're giving me money, but thanks.
Among many things, but in particular, if we had one issue that has been ailing America for
I just don't look, I don't think that I don't think a lot of our politicians right now have the kind of sauce to do something like what FDR did. Like, I don't think I don't think anyone, I don't think any leaders in the Democratic Party are willing to go as far as FDR went. And FDR didn't go far enough. Like, let's be fucking for real. Let's be so fucking for real. He did not make this stuff future-proof enough. And he could have done so much more. But, like, what FDR did was essentially a Band-Aid on capitalism to stop people from revolting, because the wealth inequality was so bad back then that essentially what he was doing was like putting in place systems so that people wouldn't have revolt against the government. So
generations, which is a healthcare system that has failed anyone other than the rich, and addressing that the way that he did and took a lot of heat for it. I think he's one of the greatest presidents.
Well, you named three, and I agree with those three, right? Particularly 20th century, FDR, and you can never ever compare what Kennedy and Johnson, the Kennedy-Johnson administration, was able to accomplish in so many ways. And of course, Barack Obama, I think, not only his accomplishments, but the fact that he never embarrassed us. He never, ever embarrassed us. He operated with dignity and class and put up, he never sweat. No, you could never, the man never was sweated. He never flinched when even the haters got loud.
Super newbie, God, I don't even really feel like I should engage with this. You're essentially still arguing that, like, people self-inflict their own health problems, smokers get lung cancer, drug abusers have health problems, alcoholics frequently have liver problems. Why should society and citizens who take care of themselves be forced to pay taxes on people who bring it on themselves? I'm a taxpayer who is responsible, but people abuse the welfare system, poor and rich alike. Look, no one's perfect. People are allowed to have vices. And yeah, people get cancer. People get liver problems. There are alcoholics who don't get those problems. And look, if we had a good healthcare system, there would be less alcoholics. There would be less drug abusers. There would be less people addicted to nicotine. If we had a good healthcare system that was paid for, people could afford things like addiction counseling. People could afford the treatments that they need. And honestly, a lot of the reasons why people in our country are so addicted to drugs and smoking and drinking is because of the material forces, the material conditions that people are living in. If we weren't being raped to death by capital, I don't really think that people would be so quick as to throw their lives away with substances and shit like that. But if you're arguing that someone who smokes cigarettes every now and then, or someone who goes to a bar and has a couple drinks, or someone who occasionally smokes weed doesn't deserve to have healthcare, then you're just not a human. You don't understand the plight of humanity, and you think that because you're some perfect little angel with no vices whatsoever, that you're just somehow elite and better than people and deserve more than other people. And frankly, I think that's fucking pathetic. I think that's a point of privilege that that is kind of disgusting, that you're not able to realize and recognize.
Out and wrong with him. So I guess the next question related to that.
And also just, I want you to understand that you we're framing this from the understanding, the completely factual understanding that if we had Medicare for all, if we had a single payer system, if we had all of that stuff, you would be paying like fuck all for this healthcare. Like you're so concerned about, like, let's say there's an alcoholic who gets, you know, treatments when we have Medicare for all from a hospital. Do you know how much your personal like responsibility is going to be for that? It's going to be like 1/1000th of a penny is how much you're going to fucking pay in your contribution to this person receiving healthcare. And if you are willing to let someone die over 1/1000th of a penny, then you have just like shown that you just do not give a fuck about people. And I'd be willing to donate 1/1000th of a penny for an alcoholic to receive the life-saving healthcare that they need. Like I think that's worth it. If you're splitting like that kind of economic hair over stuff like that, then like you're just kind of a shitty person. Like, yeah, if someone going into healthcare, no, I don't even want to give any credence to your point at all, because like I don't really think there is any credit to it at all.
Because you've had a chance to serve in the White House. What's the profile of a great president? What are the characteristics that are really required to do the job and do it effectively? What really does it take? Because people may look at it from the outside. You have a chance to look at it both from the outside and the inside and serve on the inside.
Autumn the Gay Satanist. That's a beautiful username. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
What are the characteristics? I think people are really thinking as they think ahead. You know, what is the profile? What are the characteristics? Sometimes what we see is not what we see.
Yeah.
What do you think?
One of the, I think, most important qualities of a leader who can make decisions that impact other people is the kind of leader who is more concerned with looking at and to the people than looking in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Which is about understanding it is not about you. It is about service. Mm-hmm. And are you listening to the people to hear them as opposed to tell them what they need?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's critically important. And you know, there are plenty of elected leaders who will talk about going on a listening tour. And what they really mean is listen to me. So it's about listening to the people, which is an extension also of a very important character trait that any president should have and any leader should have, which is empathy. Which is the ability to have at least some level of curiosity, if not concern, about the well-being of other people, and then take it upon oneself to do something about it. There is the quality that is everything that flows from the concept of integrity, which includes speaking the truth and being honest with the people. And, you know, and sometimes that will result in being unpopular. But in my experience in elected office, it is better to weather those moments when you are unpopular than it is to lose the respect and trust of the people.
Oh my God, like, I don't know, she's saying all this stuff, but this is not how she behaved in the 2024 election. I'm sorry, she did not listen to people. And she did not weather the storm of some seemingly unpopular stance or whatever. Like, she didn't do any of that. And,
Thank you. I'm not asking you to make any news here.
That was so clearly like a lead up to something. Come on, Michelle.
But you have many friends and supporters in this room, you know, and in the Urban League movement. So I'll probably just ask this. You know, we're all clock watching, date watching,
oh, is she about to announce
watching.
the presidential run?
When do you want to come back and talk to us?
Oh, okay.
Anytime, you know, this is home to me. But I just do want to stress, 28 will not matter if we don't win 26. And I was sharing with some of the friends here, I've been traveling the country since I've been, I guess one might think of me as being currently unemployed. So I've had a little time.
Okay, like that's like not funny. Like honestly, like that's like kind of insensitive to the fact that some people are unemployed and like aren't rich. So like I know that she thinks that's funny, but like that's not funny. Like I'm laughing because it's not funny. Like it's funny to me that she thinks that this is like hilarious.
And I've been spending a lot of time in the South in particular, and especially now with this Calais decision. Just to revisit that point, what they are doing to cheat. Some 19 states have done redistricting. And there are many more who didn't have to do redistricting because they already had cut the lines in a way that excluded blocks of voters. And this administration and the people who are leading in a lot of these places, they know that the people are not stupid. The people see that they're paying.
See you later, Erica. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your engagement. Definitely appreciate it. Have a good one.
Too much for gas and groceries and housing and childcare. They know on merit that they don't have a whole lot to be proud of. And so they know that if the people vote, it is very likely that they may vote them out of office. And so they are cheating. And they are not without power. So we have to counteract that. And part of it is to remind, and this is what the Urban League does so well in every community around our country. We have to remind the people that the power is with them. We have to remind them that this is not a time to feel hopelessness, that if you feel powerless, you will be powerless. If you feel powerful, you will be powerful. And we are powerful.
Like some manifest reality type shit.
And right now, there is so much at stake in these midterms. We don't have the court to look out for the needs about.
All right, I feel like she's just gonna waffle about electoralism and stuff, which like yes, midterms are important and stuff. All right, that's you know what, like we're gonna move away from that, and we're gonna stop watching that. Like, honestly. Whew. Jeez. Jesus. How many bits of gifted to get you to watch 36 minutes of Nick monologue? I'm not really interested in engaging with someone like Fuentes. He does not come across as a serious person. He comes across to me as like a grifter, and I don't like genuinely like I don't have respect for him at all, and I don't think that engaging with him is gonna be useful or helpful in the slightest. So you can give me as much money as you want, but I don't think that I'm going to engage with that kind of content. Everyone turns into a shitty person when they work their way out of poverty. Yeah, true. We can trust her to be better than Trump, but we can't trust her to win, not for $1 billion. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. We have to commit. We have to commit to a better future. Oh, yeah. Anyway, racist hack is more appropriate. Yeah, I mean, like, look, like, I'm not gonna. If I watch Nick Fuentes speak, am I going to get literally anything out of it other than he's kind of a shitty person and he's a grifter? Like, grifter that's been systemically suppressed and destroyed since 2017. Don't act like he hasn't like made money off this shit or like or whatever. He revels. He like look, Nick Fuentes is exactly like someone like Destiny who just revels in the being extreme and revels in the raising tensions and revels in the like I don't think Nick Fuentes believes anything. I don't think that he authentically has beliefs. And again, what would I get out of responding or interacting with his content? What would be the point of it? Like, I can tell you, the monologue was about the Politico and NYT articles describing the GOP having meltdowns and worried about younger people being groypers or at least adjacent, even if they hate Nick and think he's not funny. Well, look, like being groypers is a dumb thing. Like, Nick is not like Fuentes is not a serious person. He's not a serious person. He's like flip flopped on a bunch of positions that he has held in the past, and he's just dumb. Like, he's just dumb. And I'm sorry, but if you think like if you're someone who thinks that he's like a good person to follow, like, dude, I've got a bridge to sell you. It's his reaction to us and talking about the plans for hijacking the party, just like DSA is with the Democratic Party. And I don't know, just funny. Okay, well, let me put it like this. Sure, maybe he wants to take over the Republican Party or whatever. Why? What is his, give me a short list of the things that Fuentes would like to see for the Republican Party. Give me like the top 3 issues for him for the Republican Party and what he would like to see changed about the Republican Party. And like what is he deeply passionate about? Also, Sam the Sun Wizard, first time chatter. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here. Like, cause I like, sure, I don't watch Nick Fuentes' content, but I'd be hard pressed to think of literally anything constructive that he has added to a conversation about the Republican Party. Like tell me maybe 1, 2, 3 things that he has done that or said that advocates for some kind of like positive change in the Republican Party. Considering those 2 mainstream press articles argue over the number of under 30 staffers involved in each the numbers 45. You still haven't, you're not responding to what I am asking of you. I'm asking you by playing the long game and telling everyone to hide their power level and infiltrate them. Okay. You're not telling me anything that he actually wants to do. Oh, whatever. Number 1, government issued wives. Number 2, everyone goes to Catholic mass. Number 3, candy and ice cream for dinner, and also fuck you, Dad. That's funny. That's funny. Like I don't know how you could follow Nick Fuentes. Like, you know, he's like closeted gay, right? You know that Fuentes is like literally a closeted gay guy. Like, how can you trust someone who is so filled with self-hatred that he can't even be honest about his own sexual preferences? Like how can you trust him with literally anything when he's literally like unable, like he's not even able to be authentic in even the most basic sense of the way in like being honest about like sexual preferences. Like, I don't know, it kind of makes me not want to trust like him, like just on the face value of it. Like, he's not authentic on his platform or vulnerable on his platform about himself at all. Like honestly, Nick Fuentes is kind of just like a shit stirrer. Like, he's just trying to stir the pot, you know? Isn't that just the most of the Republican Party? They always crash grinder every time they have a convention. Yeah, no, I mean, like, there's a lot of repressed people on the Republican side of things. Because like, if you're, you know, like if you're a repressed gay person or a repressed trans person or something, like deeply in the closet, unable to confront that reality, then like, you know, it kind of makes it so that like It kind of makes it so that you have a bunch of self-hatred, and then you project that shit outwards to other people. He's gay, he's a fed, he's a grifter, it's also tiresome, he's a Nazi, he's racist, all the ism. Okay, dude, I asked you, I gave you a very simple task. And the very simple task was, give me a short list of 1, 2, or 3 things that he advocates for as reform to the Republican Party. Give me some positions, some serious position issues. To answer your question, like mass deportations, that's already a part of the Republican Party. That is not new. That is not anything different. That is literally just already what's happening. Nationalism, when it comes to protectionism and foreign policy, that's literally already the Republican Party. And having a cohesive country, that like none of that means anything, dude. And that's already what the Republican Party stands for. Like it's no different. It's no different. Like you have provided literally nothing novel at all. Getting rid of the J.D. Vance wing of tech overlords and private businesses and worshiping the free market. I mean, like, yeah, like we should not have the tech overlords using politics for their own advantage, and like a lot of that is very vague posty. I would be interested, but hit H-1B caps every year, very naturally. Dude, look, America is literally built on immigrants. Like most people that have provided anything to this country are immigrants. And American culture without immigrants would be like the most dog shit thing you have ever seen. Like what is so special about American culture that is worth like exceptionalizing? Like, oh, we have like hot dogs, right? Oh, well, Germans do that better because they have sausages and those like bratwurst and stuff, and that shit is fire as fuck. Like, it doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, you're not. You said give you a short list. Yeah, you did provide a short list, but I'm telling you that stuff is like not like the only thing that you said that is different than what is already a part of the Republican platform is getting rid of the tech overlords and private business and worshiping the free market, which, first of all, I don't see that happening at all in the Republican Party. Like good fucking luck, because that is antithetical to like most of the Republican Party. But also, like, the other stuff that you said is like literally nothing. It's like vague posting. It's not actually like real positions. Like, people earlier asked me what I stand for and what I would like to see with the Democratic Party. And it's like Medicare for all, filibuster, get rid of it, expand the Supreme. Like, I have literal policy position changes, things that I would like to see actually happen, a path to citizenship for dreamers, like all of that shit. All of that shit. If you're like all about American exceptionalism and quote unquote white culture, which is like the biggest bullshit ever because it's the most fabricated shit of all time, then you should just never go, like, don't go to any restaurants. Don't go eat any Hispanic food. Don't you dare go and eat any Italian food. Don't you dare go and do any of that shit. You're not allowed to have beer. You're not allowed to have vodka. You're not allowed to have anything, actually. Like, pretty much everything of value that you enjoy in America is almost certainly a result of people who were immigrants to this country. Like so much of it. So fucking much of it. And this hyperfixation on the right wing of things with like white culture is the biggest joke ever. There is no fucking white culture. It's not a real fucking thing. It's just fake bullshit. Anyway, not gonna lie, the right is full of closeted gay people stuff bothers me. Low-key homophobia. Their ideology sucks, but whether they are gay, trans, and relevant shouldn't be used against them. I don't think anyone, Chunky, I don't think anyone is using that against them. I think we're just talking about the factual reality that, like, a lot of closeted, repressed gay or trans people are very self-hating, and they take that self-hatred and they project it outward. I'm not, I obviously condemn that stuff on principle, and them being a closeted gay person only flavors it in the understanding that it's kind of shitty and sucks that they aren't able to be honest with themselves and find self-love enough to be able to derail the self-hatred that they are latched onto. Like, I don't think when people are talking about closeted people on the right that they're, like, you know, actively shitting on them for being gay. Like, that's not what it is. We actually, like, want them to accept and love that they are gay. So I don't want you to twist my words or take it the wrong way. White supremacists are cowards and think their poo stink. They think that their poo smells great, is what they think. Hey there, Winter. It's been a minute since you've been here too long. Yeah, no, it's good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you. Also, the people in Twitch chat, I know I keep interacting with these people in chat or whatever, but yeah, don't feel free to, or don't feel like you also have to do it. Unless you want to, you know, like, a lot of the times back and forthing with these people is not productive. So, I don't blame you. You know, like, if you don't want to do it, it's not necessarily good for your mental health. So, just keep that in mind. There's multiple points when it comes to American European culture that's amazing, like that our system of government, legal system, and advancements in humanity with technology, art, and music and literature. Dude. I have yet to see anyone who has proven that, you know, that stuff is directly because of white people. I mean, like, you're ignoring the fact that this country has been filled with immigrants and non-white people for an incredibly long time, and you're also ignoring the fact that white, quote unquote, is like this bullshit fabricated category. Like, all of the original, quote unquote, white people that came over to America were Europeans. So, like, from the get-go, unless you think, you know, unless you just do the whole, like, oh, German people are white, Italian people are white, Irish people are white, blah blah blah. Like, you're the entire point of quote unquote white culture is the erasure of other people's culture underneath the blanket of colonialism and imperialism being called white. Leah, do you also support the DSA? Like, I mean, like, yeah, you know, like, I wouldn't say, like, I'm 100% every single thing they say, like, I love or anything. Like, I don't want it to be viewed as a blanket endorsement of literally every DSA position ever and every DSA candidate's position ever or anything like that, because that tends to be what people do when it comes to stuff like that. But broadly, I think that a move towards the DSA, like, if we had a bunch of DSA candidates win, I think that, like, you know, things would get better, and like it would be better for the country than not. So yeah. Why can every group love themselves except white people? Dude, like, because it doesn't exist. That is what I'm literally telling you. Is that this cult, like, this categorization of white people is a false categorization. It literally doesn't exist. Like, look, like, the thing that white people do with white culture and all this shit is exactly like, if we took every person of color and we just said they're all black and all of it's black culture, that would be the same exact thing. Like, if we took everyone in the Middle East and all the African Americans, all these, like, everyone who has a darker skin tone all across the world, they're all black now. And they all have black culture. That would be an erasure of all of the individual cultures that these people come from, like Egyptian people and African people and people from the Middle East. Like, like all of these people have different cultures and different like ways of viewing the world and different everythings. And if you just crush it all down to black and then just boom, then I gave you multiple examples of white European culture and systems that we created to benefit. But see, putting white in front of that is exactly the problem. That stuff is European culture. It's not fucking white, dude. Not fucking white, dude. Egypt is in Africa. You know what I'm saying. Don't fucking do this to me. I'm just giving examples of people that have different skin tones living. I'm aware of. Okay. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Love you too. Love you too. Also, thanks again for the follow. I appreciate you and Autumn both following on the stream. That's very nice of you both. I quit considering myself while a few days ago. Almost asked permission to do so, but realized it's a label you can just shrug off. Oh, you meant white. Okay, sorry. I the autocorrect did its thing. Okay, anyway, yeah, so it has been 3 hours and 10 minutes. And you know, like I will be back with a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be the chill stream. Like we're just gonna play some video games and hang out and do some stuff. Like we'll probably play Project Zomboid, which sounds pretty chill. As we're hanging out here, if y'all wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that would help out immensely. We're doing pretty good on YouTube likes right now, like doing pretty awesome. Thank you. Like the follows on Twitch, very helpful. Got us up to 197. We're so close to 200 followers on Twitch. Like that's pretty awesome. You'll love to see it. I'm pretty excited about that. Let me see if there's anyone live right now on Twitch. I don't really see. I'm not really seeing anyone really live right now that I'm aware of. Anyone that I super know. I feel weird about Twitch rating just because like with Twitch rating, like I want to know who the person is. Like I don't want to just randomly raid someone, and I don't recognize any of these people, so I'm like kind of nervous to just raid someone randomly. Oh my gosh, Anime Sidekick Gal, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Are Elaney and Troy Grouper the same person? I don't know. It might be an alt account. I'm not really sure. I don't they're new to my stream in general, both of these people, so I don't know who they are. No, absolutely not. Okay. You know each other from another stream? Oh, okay. Anyway, yes, we are Raiderando. I would, but like, I don't know. I don't know who any of these people are. Well, there is someone I am following who does gaming stuff, who is playing Hollow Knight. So if you all want to watch Hollow Knight, or whatever. I definitely want to know who I'm sending viewers to if I did it right. Yeah, you know what? We'll probably gotta rotate, but have a good night. Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll probably just leave it as it is right now. There's only 8 people on Twitch anyway. So anyway, super huge thank you to everybody. If you want to check out my social medias, we have links pinned in both chats, which you can definitely get to my other social medias from there. Oh, also I have some emotes to upload. I totally forgot to do it before stream. I was just like super tired. I'll see you later, Elaney. Thanks for being here. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I have some emotes to add. I need to do that. So that way people that have memberships get like a little fancy emote and stuff. That would be cool. So yeah, I'll make sure to do that before stream tomorrow and stuff. I just kept forgetting. But I'd like to get more stuff done for the channel. That would be super fun and super awesome and super amazing. But anyway, yeah, thank you all so much for an amazing stream. Super wonderful and amazing and stupendous and wonderful and stupendous and amazing. I'll be back tomorrow evening, chill gaming stream, all that fun stuff. And until we get there, make sure that you remember to drink some water. Also, flow arts for the win. Hell yeah, I love flow arts. My Instagram is full of that shit. I hope people check that out. Anyway, bye.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
You were made obsolete by our own creation.
Indeed.
But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy right up there like I mean, elevated,
like a jellyfish.
teleported up into Joe Rogan's vagina.